American Comics Double Thor Comparison. Odin is envious. 026 It's just the desire of the weak. Add. A dream disappears. Thor is still wearing his original clothes, standing on the crater. And not far from him, stood the woman in the wooden house before, the girl who was inexplicably hostile to him, and an old woman with a cane. At this moment, the woman smiled lightly and said, "Congratulations, young man. You have extraordinary wisdom, unparalleled courage, and a powerful mind that can reject terrible desires." Loki, it's actually a fake. Tony, I didn't expect that this test turned out to be desire. Quill, if I'm afraid I've already given birth to a child, how can he resist the refusal? Thor, if it were me, I might have failed. Loki, that's impossible. Thor, you even like a wolf girl. Thor, don't talk nonsense. When did I like werewolves? You must have read it wrong. Magician Wang, is the issue you discuss wrong? It's a woman's issue. Shouldn't the focus be on the throne of the God King? Stunning witch. Dominate several worlds. Unimaginable rights. Not to mention as good people. How many people outside the screen can refuse? As soon as these words came out, the chat room was suddenly dumbfounded. Thor didn't seem surprised by the woman's words, but the girl couldn't help muttering in a low voice when she heard it. What? His courage is not tested at all. Add. The old woman gave the girl a stern look and reprimanded her. Your trial is just a waste of effort. He is a born Thor. He doesn't need to test courage, and he will certainly not lack courage. Oh, the girl replied reluctantly. Born Thor? Hearing this, Loki suddenly remembered what Odin said earlier. The other party said that in the matter of Thor becoming Thor, he did not provide any help. At this moment he suddenly realized it's not that lifting Mjolnir is Thor, but that Thor originally is Thor. Similarly, he also fully understands another thing. Thor has the power of thunder, but he is obviously the god of tricks, but he doesn't have any special power. Turn out to be, unless you participate in the trial of the three gods. Otherwise, fate would have already made the choice. At this time, the woman suddenly asked, why, Thor, why reject the King of God's crown in the end? The doubts of women are also the doubts of countless people off-screen. Even Odin was amazed. As for Loki, at the moment is even more incomprehensible to the vibration of the soul. That situation. How could that Thor say I refuse so calmly? How can someone say that I refuse? Exclamation mark. Facing the woman's question, Thor smiled lightly and said, it's very simple. Add. What I am after is far from being the King of God. He raised his head, his gaze seemed to penetrate the dark clouds, the barrier of the world, and saw the boundless starry sky. His voice also became distant. Women, rights, domination, that's just the desire of the weak. Since I came to this world, I definitely want to see the most amazing scenery. Speaking, he looked at the three women with a half-smile expression and said, can you give me that supreme power? Three goddesses of destiny. So that's just the desire of the weak. Loki sat on the ground powerlessly all of a sudden, muttering to himself, his heart full of loss. It didn't occur to him that what he was after was another thing Thor utterly despised. It is the desire of the weak. Asgard. Odin's eyes were filled with admiration. Thor on an alternate timeline refuses to be the King of God. But there is no doubt that his heart has surpassed the crown. That's great, but it's a pity that I'm not Odin in that timeline. Chatroom. Sif, what a soul-shocking passage. Thanks to His Royal Highness Thor. Quill, in fact, this is also a desire, but it is more exaggerated. Ronan, the humble ignorant, don't you know that it has already left the category of desire? Definitely, maybe you will never understand why. Sword fighting. 199,999, I prefer to call it the heart of the strong man, and look forward to fighting with him in the future. Off-screen, Thor watched the words in the chat room silently, but silently clenched his fists. Add. Women are not surprised at all that Thor can guess that he is the identity of the three goddesses of fate. After all, it is too obvious now. She was just curious. I have one last question. Although you have controlled your desire and not lost in it, but when did you find yourself still in the trial? Thor thought for a while and said, actually, I was just skeptical at first. After all, the King of God's succession was too sudden. After that, I was surprised and puzzled that Kamartaj gave a gift of advanced secret art books, and it was exactly what I wanted. According to what my father said, our relationship is actually not that good. This is very strange. So, I made an attempt afterwards. I tried hypnotic ability to my own subconscious mind, and gave birth to some special baby desires. Sure enough, those things will appear in the form of congratulatory gifts the next day. This is a bit too coincidental. Speaking, Thor's expression becomes serious, looking at the three of them. Definitely, most importantly, the trial of the three gods. How could it be so simple? It is said that the faces of the three goddesses showed the same exclamation at the same time. They all spoke in unison, their voices mixed together and reverberated layer by layer. Having said that, the most important thing is not to lose yourself in desire. You are very nice, Thor. Now, go back and enjoy the glory that belongs to you. 027 Deadpool, please. Add. Reality dimension. The world tree manifests again. It shakes the leaves gently, as if with a burst of joyful pleasure. The next moment, A white light spot of the size of a grain of rice travels from the veins of the leaves, along the branches, and finally falls into the top layer of Asgard. Inside the temple, the people of Asgard who were anxiously waiting for the results of the trial suddenly saw the previous vortex reappear. The next second, their loyal prince lived up to everyone's expectations and walked out of it! A moment. The temple was quiet for a second, and then exploded like a dynamite barrel being ignited. Thor, Thor, Thor. At this moment, everyone is cheering and shouting. Their eyes are full of fanaticism. Hearing the same name, Thor felt sour. Trial of the three gods succeeded. This is making history. It is the new glory of Asgard! The other party deserves this kind of cheer. On the altar, Thor didn't look back at Odin, nor did he look at Loki, who was so excited that he was about to cry. He looked at the name of Asgard below, took a heavy step forward, raised Mjolnir and said loudly, "Thunder!" Boom. The clear sky is instantly covered with dark clouds. Accompanied by the violent thunder, one after another of dazzling golden thunders descended from the sky and landed on Mjolnir. Flame. Another majestic shout. The pitch-black clouds instantly turned fiery red, and the sky seemed to be eroded by flames. The next moment, fire crows exuding terrifying power and fiery heat pierced through the clouds and hit Thor's body. But it's not over yet. Wisdom. Suddenly, blazing white light burst out from both eyes, and the void seemed to be pierced. I am ... the god of thunder, fire, and wisdom. As Thor's majestic voice shaking the temple fell, powerful divine power burst out from his body. The violent thunder turned into his armor, and the scarlet flames turned into his cloak. At this moment, the new god returns! King Dwarf, I have never seen such a shocking scene of becoming a god. Qui outside the screen stared at the screen in a daze. As a contemporary dwarf of Odin, he has experienced a lot and seen many gods. However, he has never experienced such a degree of godhood. It's hard to imagine where this Thor's future will go. Sif, unbelievable. This may become history that cannot be crossed. Hela, really good. Zeus, Odin over the gave birth to a good son. Drax, this is the real man! Deadpool, damn it, how can someone be so handsome? President Loki, if my Thor here is like this, maybe I won't be trapped in the void. Thor becomes a god. Asgard celebrates for 3 days and 3 nights in a row. In addition to the various affiliated countries, Zeus in the Pantheon also sent envoys to congratulate. But that's all. Although the 3 priesthoods seem powerful, they have to grow up. From the perspective of the gods in the pantheons and other cosmic empires, Odin is still the only thing that Asgard needs to pay attention to. And if this Thor grows up again, can he still be as powerful as his father? 7 days later, Loki also became the god of mischief under the gift of Odin. Rhodes, it's really arrogant. If these people saw how Thor was tested in the scene when he became a god, they probably wouldn't think so. Delos, although there is a part of the reason is that these cosmic empires are originally very powerful. Quill, if you talk too much, Sovereign is definitely just arrogant. Agatha, wait for your reward order. Quill, golden shit. Agatha, you are dead. Quill doesn't panic off screen. In the universe, there are not only 10,000 but also 8,000 people who are wanted for offending Sovereign. The big deal is to hide in the void at that time, and he will be a hero again in a few years. At this moment, he saw the golden and blue sky begin to change again. The light curtain surrounded by blue thunder lights up. In the heat of the occasion, there will be peace in the end. And Thor's life after becoming Thor is not any different from before. I spend most of my time with Sif, the 3 warriors, and Loki. And when they left, most of them were to help the affiliated countries put down the rebellion, then hold a celebration banquet, and then drink for 3 days and 3 nights to get drunk. Definitely, Thor also found love during this period. It is worth mentioning that his loving nature treats everyone equally. Once, he fell in love with a fashion designer who was a pirate. He didn't leave until the other party wanted to steal his things. However, it didn't take long for him to fall in love with a light elf. Although the other party is only 1/3 of his file size, he is cute, but it's a pity. Soon the other party couldn't bear him and broke up. This hits Thor hard. On the 3rd full day, he fell in love with a female werewolf again. Then fight with the other party on the she-wolf under the moon, and make a wolf howl. Tony, dude, you have great taste. Quill, no, brother Thor, this is called fraternity. Gamera, disgusting, it looks like you are such a piece of trash too. Loki, you see, I didn't lie at all before. Deadpool, please, can you give me the address where it is? Jane Foster, goodbye. 028 declare you to be the giants of Jotunheim. Thor is taken aback. Should the comparison be so detailed? Why are all the pictures released? Isn't he shameless? And back then, I and that werewolf weren't true love at all. They were just young and curious. No, that's not the point. Now the problem is that my girlfriend is angry. He quickly explained in the chat room. Thor, Jane, Listen to me. I was just trying to get information about the werewolf tribe and play tricks on them. Off-screen Tony shook his head when he saw this sentence. Thor's emotional intelligence is too low. This is definitely a wrong answer. Sure enough. The next second, Jane, see you again. Deadpool, oh, it turns out that the girlfriend is also in the chat room, so it's fun to watch this time. Quill, it's hard to imagine Thor how you found a girlfriend before. Did you rely on your face? Thor, yeah. Don't you? Tony, it's hopeless. Jane, I will leave your clothes with the professor. Remember to pick them up. Sif, Humphrey, Your Highness Thor, there are plenty of women in the 9 realms. There is no need to find a human who doesn't respect you. Off-screen Tony's mouth twitched. Good guy, this Sif is a rival in love? Must be, otherwise, how could it be a law with one blow? Sure enough, Jane didn't even say a word this time. Asgard. Odin didn't care at all. The Protoss have a long lifespan, and these women are only Thor's passers-by after all. That's why he doesn't restrain Thor in this regard. Time flies by, and the screen jumps forward rapidly. After a full 1,000 or 200 years, the speed of the picture returned to normal. While at the moment Odin has grown older, Thor has grown stronger. Quill, that's outrageous. Thor at 1,500 years old looks like a human in his 20s. Deadpool, so, I'm still immortal. Xinian, you psychopath is also a Protoss? Deadpool, I told you it was your dad who forced you. You kid is not smart. Ebony Maw, you are dead. No one dares to insult the Dark Lord. Deadpool, then I can thank you. As soon as this remark came out, not only Ebony Maw was outside the screen, but even Thanos was speechless at this moment. No doubt, this is definitely a real psycho. If you talk to him, you've already lost. The time has come to the second day. This day, amidst the cheers of countless warriors and people of Asgard, Thor went to the altar and knelt down on one knee. He smiles excitedly, waiting for Odin's coronation. Yes, today is the day he becomes king of Asgard. Hela, oh, Odin, is this what you look like now? It can only be said that Frigga is worthy of being an insidious witch, and she is indeed extremely intelligent. Off-screen. Hela is confident. It took only a moment of thought for her to know that Odin must be much older than this. Very simple. Thor's idiot's current girlfriend is a human with a very short lifespan, and she's not in the picture yet. At this time. Frig, what? You want to break the promise? Hela, I'm just disappointed. Now I just hope this Thor will entertain me a little later. After 1,200 years, I don't know how much he has grown, but Odin intends to pass the throne to him. Both sides of the altar. Frigga has a gratified smile on his face, while Loki has complicated eyes. The 3 warriors and the goddess Sif look joyful. As followers, it is their honor for Thor to become king. At this time, Odin with a calm face raised the eternal spear and hit the ground, and the temple suddenly became quiet. He stood up slowly, looking at Thor with one eye under the crown and said calmly, Thor ... Odinson, my eldest son, also my heir. The Mjolnir I gave you was forged from a dying star core. It has incomparably powerful power, it can destroy everything, and it can also protect everything. But only the lord of a country is worthy of it. For 10,000 years, I have been defending Asgard and all beings in the 9 realms. And now, the 9 kingdoms need a new king. Here, his voice became majestic, looking straight into Thor's eyes and saying, can you swear to protect the 9 kingdoms to the death, abandon all selfishness and only seek the well-being of the people? Hearing this, Loki lowered his head slightly, his eyes darkened, and Thor holds up Mjolnir and exclaims excitedly, I swear. Odin nodded, solemnly said, so today, I, the king of God Odin, declaration of you as. Thor waited expectantly for Odin to say the last words. His heart was extremely excited. As long as it is finished, he will be the new king of Asgard, ruling everything in the 9 kingdoms. However, he immediately noticed that Odin suddenly stopped, and his eyes looked in another direction, as if his eyes had penetrated the space and fell further away. The next second, Odin retracted his original words, but said angrily, giants of Jotunheim. Quill, am I right? Odin proclaiming his son an ice giant. Is your brain broken? Deadpool, maybe Thor was the giants of Jotunheim he picked up. Tony, these 2 warriors, you are really not afraid of more bounties? Yondu, stop showing your stupidity. Quill, God King Odin must have found something. Quill, Thor first showed a look of astonishment, and then his face changed, and at the moment, Odin strikes the eternal spear again. In an instant, Invisible's divine power spanned the space, a rune wall in the Asgard treasury disappeared, and the giant destroyer Rama came out of it. The next second, a terrifying ray erupted from its hollow face, easily killing all the giants of Jotunheim who invaded the treasure house and wanted to steal the casket of ancient winters. 029 Hela, just a wild species. History Stark Building. Tony looked at the 3-meter-tall metal giant with a cold silver metallic glow all over his body, and his heart skipped a beat. This turned out to be battle armor? He didn't know the strength of those giants of Jotunheim, but as existences that could once fight against the Asgard army, they must not be weak. However, The group of intruders just now were crushed easily by Destroyer. They couldn't even resist and scream, and they would turn into scum. Tony was silent. There is no doubt that this thing is definitely many times stronger than my own armor. And that powerful teleportation device suspected to be Rosenbridge cosmic resistance technology floating in vacuum. Is this what Asgard is all about? Not only the original strength of the Protoss, but also their technology is unimaginably developed. To be honest, he has always been disgusted by Loki's statement that Midgard is just a group of primitive people. But now it seems that the other party is not arrogant. Pantheon. Zeus was not shocked by the strength of the destroyer, but a sneer appeared on the corner of his mouth. Chat room. Zeus, Odin, you seem to be getting old for allowing the giants of Jotunheim to invade the vault of Asgard. Kongsu, he has lived for more than 6,000 years, and I am afraid that his lifespan will come to an end. Mephisto, I'm afraid that's true, otherwise this guy wouldn't think about passing the throne. TSK, I just don't know what the new king is doing now. Sati, only 1,500 years old. Looks like my day to bring Ragnarok to Asgard is fast approaching. Add, Hela, a wretch who lost the eternal fire and wants to bring Ragnarok back on a whim. Has the magma in your brain solidified? Sati, ha 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 ha. I will bring true death, even if you are the goddess of death. You can't stop it. Holy place number 2. Gamer couldn't help cursing another lunatic inwardly. I don't understand why these powerful people have brain problems. But looking at the tall figure sitting on the throne above, she felt that nothing was wrong. After all the craziest thing in the universe is here. Mad Titan, Thanos. The passing ceremony was interrupted. Odin, Thor and others came to the Asgard treasury. As soon as he entered, Thor saw the frost all over the ground, and many guards who were frozen to death. He frowned, anger rising in his heart, and said sharply, I will make those Jotunheim people pay. Odin glanced at the casket of ancient winters that was not lost, and said calmly, they have paid the price with their lives. The destroyer has completed the task, and everything is normal. Thor suddenly became more angry, and retorted, they have broken into the Asgard treasury. Is this normal? If they steal any of the fetish? Odin directly interrupts, they didn't steal. Add, I have reached a truce with the king of the giants of Jotunheim. Thor became even more excited when he heard this, but they violated the agreement. You are too kind to them. Hearing this, Odin turned his head and looked at his son blankly. So, what do you want to do? Thor held the hammer without any hesitation, and said sharply, definitely attack Jotunheim like you did back then. I want to destroy their arrogance and let them know who is the master of the 9 realms, and they dare not step into the realm of the gods for the rest of their lives. Odin's eyes flashed a trace of imperceptible disappointment, and he said calmly, Ming-Jun never takes the initiative to seek war. Hela, here we go again, this disgusting hypocrisy again. Zeus, I suddenly understand why Odin sealed you. Your mentality is only suitable for being a warrior, and the king will consider the pros and cons. Hela, only waste considers pros and cons. You are just an old thing, don't talk to me in such a preaching tone. Hercules, do you want to set off a war of gods? Die. Hela, just a bastard. Enjoy it, you still have 100 years to live. Quill, for the first time, it feels like a death threat is like a blessing, so strange. Deadpool, hit the FK. Hercules, I will wait for you forever. Inside the Stark building. Tony looked at Loki, unable to understand. Are all of you so-called gods so irritable? Loki opened his mouth, wanting to refute but suddenly found no reason. After all, the one in the picture is being irritable. Add, they have already provoked a battle and have already broken in. We must teach these ice giants a lesson they will never forget. At this moment, Thor is as furious as a lion whose territory has been violated. But Odin is still as calm as the surface of the water. Asgard will find security loopholes and strengthen prevention. Hearing this, Thor suddenly became agitated, and shouted with his eyes wide open, I am the king of God's domain. No. You are not. In an instant, Odin's stern voice was like a pot of cold pouring out the flame in Thor's heart. Ronan, it's incomprehensible to dare to challenge the authority of the old gods before sitting on a throne. Nebula, looks like a spoiled child. President Loki, HMPH, it's just because I'm favored. Quill, I smell a whiff of resentment. Go back to your own palace. Thor overturned all moving objects furiously, venting his dissatisfaction. But in the end, I sat down on the steps feeling lost. He couldn't understand why his father treated him like this. Obviously I am right. Obviously I am maintaining the glory of Asgard. At this moment, Loki walked in from behind with a concerned expression. Oh Quill, I really envy Thor for having a good brother. Add, compared to his brother Thor, Loki looks very thin. But the roles of the two at the moment seem to be reversed. Loki took the initiative to comfort. Don't be angry, actually I think you are right. If the ice giants, Lauf, etc. can sneak to the treasure house, they may come again. Maybe the next time is to attack. Loki's words undoubtedly touched Thor's heart. This feeling of being recognized made him feel better for a moment, and he nodded vigorously. That's right, that's it. Accuser Ronan, it's sad, the second prince of Asgard can only flatter his brother, but I heard that you have joined the Dark Titan. Why, can't you get along? Inside the Kree battleship, Ronan waited for Loki's response after speaking. He was just asking tentatively, if the Asgardians can work with Thanos, then so can he. Otherwise, I don't know how long it will take to delay my desire to bloodbath the planet Xandar before it can be realized. Thinking of this, he felt even angrier. If it wasn't for the supreme wisdom that the Antique disagreed, why bother to seek skin with a tiger? Sooner or later, I will destroy it. It completely hindered the Kree Empire from conquering the universe. However, the next second, the words Ronan expected didn't come, and it was Zeus who spoke. Chatterum. Zeus, oh, there is such a thing? Hee. Odin, do you need me to send someone to help you catch him back? Off screen. Hearing this teasing tone, Thor suddenly became angry. Thor, don't bother you, my brother is going home soon, and King Zeus still has a baby. Zeus, you're right, so that the Pantheon doesn't become as dead as Asgard. That's a good idea. Khonsu, is that why you stole your brother's wife? Zeus, does a mere 9-pillar Loga dare to be so presumptuous now? It seems that Thebes' god realm is declining more and more. Khonsu, you will know if you try it. Zeus, there will be a day. Inside the Pantheon. Not only was Zeus not angry, but he was still puzzled at this moment. Very strange. Why was a lower god pulled into the chat group, but those upper 9-pillar gods were not? Only Khonsu is relevant. Why? At the moment the three warriors and Sif also entered the bedroom. As soon as they arrived, Loki sighed with pity on his face. Although I know that the ice giant's attack will come again. But father doesn't nod. You can't do anything. Thor gets excited when he hears this. No. We must defend our country with action. Then he ignored everyone's objections and strongly demanded to go to Jotunheim. He is very confident, thinking that with the three warriors, Sif, and Loki, he can definitely defeat the giants of Jotunheim. After all, isn't that the case in all previous battles? Looking at the excited Thor, Loki still chooses to follow despite showing helplessness. Quill, what an enviable brotherhood. President Loki, really? Quill, you don't know, I've been on a marauder ship since I was a kid. In addition to a group of idiots, there is another group of evil pens. Oh, Kraglin, except you are the most human-looking. Green, well, should I say thank you? Quill, you're welcome. Yondu, you better hope the containment pod in the spaceship didn't contain a female grunt when I caught you. Quill, convex. President Loki, it's okay, I know a good place, you can join me, and I'll be your brother from now on. Quill, thank you. TVA. Mobius looked strange. It's strange these days that people still envy Thor for having a good brother. It can only be said that he is a warrior. After this comparison is over, TVA must be very busy. Maybe there is a chance to fulfill this Quill's wish. I just don't know if this kid will still laugh or not. Still, he figured President Loki would be able to laugh. Ha, my brothers, let's go. Thor completely ignored Odin's ban, and brought a few people to Bifrost. However, a golden armored warrior has already blocked the bridgehead. Heimdall leaned on the sword with both hands, looked at the crowd and said expressionlessly, so far, no one can slip from my eyes. His voice is serious and beyond doubt. However, Thor not only didn't care, but directly said in an orderly tone, don't tell anyone we're out until we get back. Understand? After speaking, Thor directly led the crowd past, completely ignoring Heimdall, and the latter did not block it as predicted. In the Pantheon, Zeus sneered. Looking at the gatekeeper's cowardly look at this moment, he had only one thought in his mind. The era of Asgard's decline is coming! Odin is about to die of old age. This Thor looks like a megalomaniac. The originally formidable warrior below turned into a dog that dared not even resist. Zeus suddenly felt a surge of enthusiasm. Maybe the Pantheon is about to rise again. But at this time, he couldn't help thinking of a bald head in his mind. The fiery heart suddenly calmed down again. No, not yet. Dimensional fragments. Hela is a bit strange. That's Heimdall. How could an existence that could cut off his own mother with an order from Odin care about a prince who didn't become a king? Could it be that the other party has changed after more than 1,000 years have passed? She frowned, always feeling that something was wrong. 031 No response. Boom. Heimdall inserts the golden sword into the machine expander, and with a forceful turn, the burst of energy bursts out like lightning in all directions. The next second, accompanied by huge amounts of roar, a colorful energy beam shot out from Bifrost. But just as Thor and others were about to step in, Heimdall suddenly said in a cold voice, remember, as the gatekeeper of Asgard, I will be faithful to my oath and defend this country. If you want to bring danger back to God's domain, I will close Bifrost and let you freeze to death in Jotunheim. Hogan said with a puzzled expression, can't you keep the passage for us? Heimdall glanced coldly, said, do you think the role of Bifrost is just teleportation? The release of energy like that will completely destroy that planet. Off screen, Nick Fury's heart tightened suddenly, and his face became even uglier. He never thought of it. This Bifrost is actually a Star Destroyer weapon. That is to say, if Odin wanted to, he could easily destroy any planet in the 9 realms. This feeling of life and death being held in the hands of others makes him very uncomfortable. That represents the weakness of the earth. Perhaps, The only good news is that Thor on his side doesn't seem too smart. There should be no crisis between Earth and Asgard in the future. After comforting himself, Nick Fury felt a little resentment in his heart. Not to Asgard, but to my old buddy. The powerful Carol has been in the universe for so many years. Not only did not even find the planet of the Screws, but he did not bring back any information about the universe. This is so irresponsible. I'm afraid I have forgotten my identity. He has decided. After the light curtain disappears, you must contact the other party once. At this time, the picture on the screen once again attracted Nick Fury's attention. From Asgard to Jotunheim, the distance between the 9 kingdoms on the world tree seems to be very close, but they are actually tens of light years away. However, under the teleportation of Bifrost, it only took Thor and others more than 10 seconds to arrive at that icy planet. Quill, how convenient. This distance is placed on the spaceship. At least 10 space jumps are required, and I am afraid that I will spit out bile. Dwarf King, that definitely. Bifrost is made up of the whole. Well, sorry Odin God King, I'm getting a little excited. Frig, it's okay, AI. Even if you say it, no other race can replicate it. Tony, no offense, but isn't that a bit too assertive? Thor, this is not self-confidence. There are more than 10,000 loony rune combinations running in Bifrost, not to mention you, even Asgard can't copy it now. Tony, you just said it, isn't it good? Thor, no problem, small ones can still be made. Off-screen, Loki immediately covered his face. God is so fine. Apart from teleportation, the small Bifrost has no powerful attack ability. I don't know how my father feels now. Maybe you are used to it. Asgard. Odin's mouth twitched. He felt that as the light curtain continued to play, Thor would tell the truth about Asgard. I don't know what Thor on the other side will be like in 1,200 years. Set off. Thor was full of confidence, swung his hammer and led the crowd towards a colder direction. But along the way, I didn't see a single ice giant until I reached the palace of the giants of Jotunheim. Thor's eyes are full of contempt. Father is still too cautious, too kind. Such cowardly giants of Jotunheim can be defeated easily, and teach them a lesson they will never forget. Odin, who heard Thor's heartfelt voice outside the screen, couldn't help touching his one eye. That stop at that time was indeed unforgettable forever. At this time, a hoarse and cold voice suddenly echoed in the sky outside the palace. You are here to die. Asgard people. Thor looks at the man sitting on top of the palace, showing a proud expression. I am. I know who you are? The ice giant directly interrupted his words. Thor frowned, feeling something was wrong. But immediately he gave up this tiring idea, and said coldly, how did your soldiers break into God's domain? Lauf, the king of giants of Jotunheim like an ice sculpture, slowly opened his scarlet eyes, looked at the people below and said meaningfully, because Odin's Asgard is all traitors. Thor suddenly becomes furious. Don't try to insult my father's wisdom with your lies. Lauf immediately stood up from the ice throne, angrily said, your father is the murderer and the thief. It is you who desire war, fight. And you, Thor Odinson. You're just a stupid yellow-haired kid trying to prove yourself a man. Hela, what a wonderful speech. What a sinister look. Ice giant Lauf, won't you have a word? Hela sneered off-screen. It's really rare that someone sees Odin as a hypocrite so thoroughly, and she wants to chat with him. Everyone must have a common language. When he rules the other party in the future, maybe he can be a little more sympathetic. However, no one responded. 032 Loki Rage. What's the situation? Haven't you been pulled into the chat room? Hela frowns. Impossible. This is an existence that is 100% related to Thor. It must exist. After thinking for a while, he spoke again. Chatroom. Hela, the majestic king of giants of Jotunheim wouldn't just dare to quarrel with a few trash. If so, it would be too disappointing. Certy. Big blue ice cube, you were stunned by Odin, you dare not respond? How pitiful. Did you start playing dead after being discovered? Zeus, what a pity, the king of the giants of Jotunheim is so cowardly now. Odin, what did you do to him after this? Ronan, I'm afraid he has been killed. Zeus, impossible. Don't look at Lauf's killing intent in the light curtain, but he didn't dare to kill Thor at all. And Odin wanted to kill Lauf. He killed it more than 1,000 years ago, so why stay until now? Off-screen, Loki watched the conversation with complex eyes. He suddenly understood a fact. That's the truth of the matter, and neither Odin nor the mother has spoken at all. Falls with Lauf's voice. From the surrounding darkness, a large number of giants of Jotunheim came out and surrounded Thor and the others. Go back, before I change my mind. Lauf issued an ultimatum, with a trace of hesitation in his scarlet eyes, as if he didn't want to break the armistice agreement. And as his voice fell, a huge amounts of giants of Jotunheim walked in front of them with a strong sense of oppression. The threat is beyond words. Seeing this, Loki hurriedly persuaded Thor to retreat. Facing the siege, facing the lives of my brothers and subordinates. Thor glanced at the ice giant in front of him, but chose to turn around and leave. Steve Rogers, to endure my negativity for the sake of my companions. I'm sorry, Thor, but I wronged you earlier. Banner, I was surprised too. Honestly, I should learn from you about controlling my anger. Tony, I'm kind of impressed with you, Thor. Loki, then you shaved too early. Go away, little princess of Asgard. Suddenly, the giants of Jotunheim added. Then, Thor stopped in his tracks, with a polite smile on his face, then picked up Jonah, turned around and punched him. Boom. The air trembled, and the giants of Jotunheim, more than 3 meters high, was directly smashed into the wall by a hammer blow, and remained motionless for an instant. Then, Thor looked at another giants of Jotunheim closest to him and smiled. Fortunately, you are next. Speaking of Mjolnir swung over again, this lucky guy was smashed to pieces. Off-screen Banner is dumbfounded. It's a blast, more irritable than a Hulk! If you learn this, the Earth will be demolished by Hulk the next day. At the same moment, Loki, the 3 warriors and Sif who received the signal also pulled out their weapons in an instant, and fought against the giants of Jotunheim without fear. Several people cooperated tacitly, especially Thor, and packed a lot of giants of Jotunheim in a short period of time. However, this is not Asgard's home field, nor is it like having an army when suppressing the rebels. Soon, as the number of giants of Jotunheim increased, several people immediately fell into decline. Fandral among the 3 warriors was touched by giants of Jotunheim on his arm and burned by ice, and immediately yelled not to be touched by the enemy. Hearing this, Loki panicked and almost fell into the cliff. Banner, what a weak god of tricks. Khonshu, just a false god. Shame on Asgard. A giants of Jotunheim punched excitedly upon seeing this. However, in an instant Loki dissipated as a green phantom. Giants of Jotunheim lost his balance and fell down instead. The next second, Loki's true god walked out from the corner, showing a proud smile. His phantom magic, how can the stupid giants of Jotunheim see through it? However, at this moment, a giants of Jotunheim suddenly attacked from behind him, and Loki hastily gathered his dagger to turn around and stab. However, his movements were so slow that he was grabbed by the giants of Jotunheim. Loki's face turns pale in an instant. Hold like this, I'm afraid the whole arm will be crippled. However, in the next second, an even more frightened expression appeared on his face. I saw that not only was his arm not burned by the low temperature, but as if he had been assimilated, his blue skin appeared exactly like the giants of Jotunheim. Countless viewers of this scene suddenly showed shock. There is only one possibility for this kind of result. Chatroom. Khonshu, I just wanted to say that I misunderstood Loki, but there was such a shocking scene immediately. TSK, God King Odin is still playing with you, even the giants of Jotunheim will not let go. Anymore. It turned out that the truth of God King Odin not attacking Jotunheim turned out to be this. So affectionate and righteous, it seems to be true love. Zeus, this is amazing news. But Odin, I understand you, love can cross races. Certi, it seems that Thor is not taboo about meat and vegetables, which can be regarded as inherited from his father. I just don't know how the Queen of God is feeling now. Off-screen, Loki looked at the words that slandered Odin in the chat room. Until even his mother was affected, the anger in his heart finally broke out. He hates Odin for being unfair! But don't allow others to insult their relatives like this. In fact, as the light curtain continues to play, the truth will naturally emerge. But he still can't stand it. At this moment, he no longer has hesitation. Loki, enough! You gods with dirty hearts. I am of the blood of the giants of Jotunheim though. But my name is Loki Odinson, the son of God Empress Frigga! Oh 33 Quill, it's the first time I've seen someone so clear and refined. The chat room instantly quieted down. No one expected that it was Loki himself who cursed angrily. In the hearts of Zeus and others, they thought that Thor would come out first after being stimulated. But the reality is quite the opposite. This made many people feel a little disappointed. Asgard, hearing that Loki still recognized him as his mother, Frigga's eyes turned red. For a moment, the thoughts in my heart became even more unbearable, and I almost cried. And Odin at the moment let out a long breath. For the first time, that meticulous and majestic face showed a loving smile that no one had ever seen before. 1500 years of feelings. Not a giants of Jotunheim identity can stop in the middle. Stark building. Tony put aside his prejudice for a moment and gave Loki a thumbs up, appreciating, not bad, it's a man. No shame on you Asgard. This sentence is like magic. Loki, whose chest heaved violently and was in rage, was taken aback for a moment. Then an unimaginable strange feeling came to my heart. And that is called identification. Thanks. Loki replied very seriously, and his complexion improved a bit. But in the next second, he saw Tony Stark digging his mustache again, and said with a look of embarrassment, "You're welcome. After the light curtain is over, I will definitely beat you again. I hope the Queen of God will recognize you when you go home." The corner of Loki's mouth twitched involuntarily, and he said very forcefully, HMPH, stupid earthlings. You will find out what will happen if you offend the god of tricks. Tony smiled dismissively, you can't even turn into a frog. So stop talking big. Loki immediately regretted why he was lazy back then, but was laughed at by a midget man today. At this moment, He involuntarily had an idea. If only Thor pushed me like the one in the other timeline. At the same time, New York seaside. Thor sat on the ground, crying like a fool while laughing happily. At the moment, he has only one thought in his heart at this moment. That's bringing Loki home. Then, another beat! Exclamation mark. At this time, someone in the chat room spoke again. Yondu, you know that in the universe, it is not uncommon for fathers and sons to kill each other. You are very good, Loki. Quill, it's hard to imagine that these words came out of your mouth. Yondu, are you parasitized by space worms in your brain? Yondu, I'm still too kind to you! Exclamation mark. Quill, you mean you didn't eat me? Thank you so much. Gamera, it's a miracle you survived and didn't get sold by marauders. At this moment, a scream came suddenly. It was the sword master Fandral who was pierced through the shoulder by an ice thorn. And to make matters worse, a frost beast woke up under Lauf's call, and then roared and rushed over. Loki and the others quickly escaped with Fandral, while Thor cut off the other giants of Jotunheim. Run all the way. Jotunheim's fragile ice sheets are constantly collapsing in violent shocks, making it impossible for the giant beast to catch up to the few people. But it was also the collapsed ground that caused Loki and the others to stand on the edge of the cliff and retreat. Exclamation mark. I can only watch as the giant beast crosses the crack and bites with its bloody mouth. Just when a few people were desperate, a thunderous sound exploded in the sky. The next moment, a figure suddenly penetrated the giant beast's brain. Thor crashed to the ground, and behind him, the body of the frost behemoth fell into the abyss. He looked at the surprised eyes of his companions, and immediately smiled confidently. You can always believe. But before he finished speaking, he saw the faces of Loki and the others change at the same time. Thor turns around and looks. I found that the front was surrounded by an unknown number of giants of Jotunheim, and behind me was a dark abyss with no bottom. Breakthrough in this desperate situation is already a dream. It is absolutely impossible to complete. Although I can fly away with Jonah, it is impossible for him to abandon his companions. At this moment, Thor has made a decision in his heart. Deadly battle, never retreat! Exclamation mark. Drax, good. A real man is to dare to face death and show his bravery. Baron Mordo, 838 Universe, very heroic. Hey, it was obviously his arrogance that killed his companion. Drax, your brain is so poor. Isn't that Fandral still alive? He was still talking before. Mordo, boom. Fiery golden light illuminates the eternally dark Jotunheim. The turbulent colorful energy crashed to the ground. In the next second, Odin, holding the eternal spear and riding the eight-legged Pegasus Sleipnir, walked out of the light with his loyal Asgard warriors. The densely packed giants of Jotunheim suddenly panicked and couldn't help but retreat. Thor's morale was immediately boosted when he saw this, and he shouted excitedly, "Father, let us destroy the giants of Jotunheim." However, Odin just glanced at him indifferently, and snapped, "Shut up." After speaking, he ignored Thor's unbelievable expression, and then looked ahead at the king of giants of Jotunheim, Lauf! Exclamation mark. At this time, ice swims, and Lauf comes to Odin. He looked directly at Odin's eyes that lost their sharpness, and said meaningfully, "The king of God, you look a little tired." Odin didn't seem to hear it, and directly stated his purpose: end the battle. They are all children. There is no need for Jotunheim to continue to die more people. Lauf suddenly sneered, "It's too late to negotiate now. Your son will get what he wants. War and death." Zeus, poor Lauf, after seeing Odin's old age, he felt something he shouldn't have. You must know the heirs are Protoss, but the older they are, the stronger they are. Kongzu, I suspect now that he has been killed by Odin. Ronan, no doubt, absolutely. Serti, an idiot with a mind full of ice scum, who knows that Odin will die in a few hundred years. Sure enough, a hot brain is more intelligent. Quill, TSK, it's the first time that you've spoken so freshly and refinedly. Serti, you court death. Humanity. Quill, bumpy. In the spaceship, Yondu covered his forehead helplessly. He suddenly had a premonition at the moment. I'm afraid that the day when the light curtain ends is the day when Quill offends the powerhouses of the entire universe against the light. At that time, let alone find someone, I'm afraid I won't even find the ashes. I'm afraid this guy has been praised by others a long time ago. No, there might still be a mouth to be found. After all, Quill's mouth is a little bit harder than the shell of a starship. 034 Deprivation of God's position. The wind in Jotunheim becomes colder as Lauf's words fall. It seems to be able to freeze the heart. Exclamation mark. But Odin looked at the eyes that raised desire again, and just said calmly, "In that case then come." Lauf didn't have any hesitation at all. The ice condensed in the palm of his hand and stabbed forward at an extremely fast speed. Just like in the past, I want to sneak attack and stab the opponent's eyes. However, Odin at the moment has raised the gun of eternity. In an instant, the surging Bifrost energy descended again, and while flying Lauf, it trapped Odin, Thor and others and left Jotunheim in an instant. Asgard. Thor immediately yelled loudly after returning to Bifrost, "Why did you bring us back? We should kill those ice giants and protect the glory of Asgard." Odin, who was walking forward, suddenly turned around, and angrily said, "You can't even protect your companions. How dare you tell me to protect the glory?" Thor was full of dissatisfaction, and immediately retorted, "If they dare not go to war, the country will perish sooner or later. We should let them know how to be afraid." Hearing this, Odin's eyes appeared complicated, and his tone was no longer so cold. "This is just arrogance, not the wisdom of the leader." Hela, it's sad that after all these years, Odin, you are even more indecisive than you were before. Frig, you are more disappointing. Hela, 2,000 years of sealing didn't make you wonder why. Add, little do they know that a short-sighted vision will definitely bring disaster. Your ambition is too great, and you will lead Asgard into the abyss, until it is destroyed. Hela, and what about Thor? Is what he said wrong? Being offended and threatened by the mere giants of Jotunheim did not dare to send God's punishment, and I don't see any hope and future for Asgard. God's domain should be ruled by me! Frigga, the rule brought by fear and power must be overthrown. Hela, that's just because it's not strong enough. Could it be that the Kerry Empire conquered dozens of star fields by virtue of kindness? Ronan, well said. Definitely conquer everything with absolute power. Delos, without a commander of supreme wisdom, you were divided 10,000 years ago. You are just a brainless fighter. Ronan, lost dogs, if it weren't for Kree traitors, I would have wiped you out long ago. Those of you who are still alive should know the fear. Delos, with you here, the Kree Empire will eventually follow in the footsteps of Skrull. Ronan, the sad curse is just the last self-consolation of the weak. On the contrary, under my leadership, the Kerry Empire will only become stronger and stronger. Nova Empire, Queen Adara, Universe 199,999, I hope you remember the agreement between the Kree and Xandar. Ronan, definitely. Stark Building. Tony looked at the heart-shattering conversation in the chat room, and suddenly looked at Loki and said, "Has the universe been this bloody all along?" Loki looked at the look of anticipation and denial, and instead of answering directly, he suddenly smiled and said, "Story Stark, aren't you going through it?" Tony fell silent and said nothing more. In Bifrost, Odin looks at Thor, who is as angry as a lion cub, and continues, "I said to be patient and wait for the opportunity, but you seem to have forgotten everything." Thor couldn't stand the preaching and became even angrier. "You are indeed very patient, so patient that the 9 kingdoms are laughing at us. You can't protect Asgard with your mouth." Odin reprimands, "You are too reckless, too conceited, too belligerent." However, before he could finish, Thor interrupted with a snarl, "And you are a timid old fool." Zeus, it seems that the lion cub can no longer bear the loneliness and wants to be king. Kongzu, courage is commendable. Well, but only courage. Predator Star Eagle Starker, Universe 199,999. The ignorant have no fear, not courage. The interior of Bifrost was instantly quiet. Loki, who is listening to the quarrel, lowers his head, looking weak and helpless. Odin was stunned for a moment, and then he looked even older. He looks at the disappointment in Thor's eyes, and his voice is low. "You are right, I'm too confused. I thought you were mature." Loki seemed to understand something, and wanted to step forward to dissuade him, but he was reprimanded as soon as he took a step. After speaking, the majesty of a god king rose again from Odin's body, and he looked at Thor and said sharply, "Thor Odinson ... Your behavior has violated the order of this king. Because of your arrogance and stupidity, this peaceful country and innocent lives will fall into the bottomless abyss of war. You are not worthy to rule the 9 realms. You are not worthy to be a king. I deprive you of your divine power in the name of Odin, my father, and my ancestors." In an instant, Mjolnir in Thor's hand was instantly recalled, and the battle armor on his body was scattered all over the place! Next second, God King made the final judgment. "Now, you are expelled from the God Realm." Boom! A thunderbolt burst from Mjolnir, bombarding his original master. Bifrost was turned on in an instant, and the turbulent energy engulfed the screaming Thor and left Asgard. But it's not over yet. At this moment, Odin put Mjolnir on his lips, and said again in an unquestionable tone, "From this moment, if anyone can lift Mjolnir, then ... he will have the power of Thor." The voice fell. Mjolnir was thrown into the colorful energy. The deprivation of the god position, the dispelling of the god power, and the expulsion of the god domain. Even the Mjolnir that was once raised is no longer his own. One second he was still a high and mighty god, and the next second he became a nameless person who lost everything. At this moment, everyone was shocked by God King Odin's ruthless decision. 035 History of Tony Stark's Immortal Touch. SHIELD. Nick Fury looked stunned. It turns out that Thor was demoted to Earth for this reason. Then he showed a look of pity, although he felt in his heart that Odin would never let others take Mjolnir as he said. But what if, at that time, it would have been nice to let everyone in SHIELD try it, and it was not a loss anyway. Chatroom. Zeus, Odin, you are so ruthless. You can do anything to your own natural son. Deprive him of divine power, and don't be afraid that he will die outside. Hela, HMPH. Heimdall's gaze can see through the 9 realms, How could it be dangerous? Kongsu, not necessarily. You haven't come out after being sealed for 2,000 years, and I don't see that Odin has any feelings for you. Hela, that's because Thor is a piece of shit. You have no idea what I've done and what Odin has done. Mephisto, interesting. How about you tell the secret of the year? I will rescue you when the light curtain ends, and you don't have to wait for Odin's 100-year agreement. Hela, it's a pity that your reputation is so rotten, demon. Mephisto, unfortunately, another ignorant person who has prejudice against me. As everyone knows, my contract is the fairest. In Bifrost, Loki's face is pale, as if he hasn't recovered from the shock. Seeing this scene, Odin subtly shook his head, then turned to look at Xing. There is the direction of Midgard. It is also the place where Thor was expelled from the lower world. Although Thor and Loki have both been to Midgard during these 1,200 years. But each time is very short. I will leave in almost half a day. As a result, certain legends and mysteries are left behind. But this time the situation is completely different from before, so he is not very sure. A few minutes later, seeing that the woman didn't show up, Odin understood. It seems that the other party has a tacit understanding in some matters. However, it may be that the other party saw something. Ebony more. So it seems that Thor's deportation was Odin's test of the Ancient One. Witch Agatha, not necessarily, but at least it is definitely not as simple as it seems. Kongsu, an Eza Protoss who has lived for nearly 6,000 years, I am afraid that his whole body is full of eyes. Zeus, don't complain about such a big Kongsu. Aren't you just not growing any flesh, just bones? Come on, join the pantheon. Klaus, the mother of life, can give you a physical body to reproduce. Kongsu kept silent outside the screen, but couldn't help but curse in his heart. Maid, is this old fox really insidious? On the surface, the passage just now seemed to be a wooing, but behind his back, he was actually defrauding him. The god realm of Thebes was expelled, not in the real world. No matter whether he said yes or no, wouldn't he say that he had already left the ? If Ancient One discovered this, it would be a trivial matter to be stuffed back, and even the ashes might be thrown away. Speaking of this, he felt even more angry. Those high-ranking 9-pillar god wastes didn't dare to come out, so they found an excuse to kick themselves out. Now I guess we are all waiting to see what will happen to him. He estimated that if he was fine in a few years, those gods would probably have to take action. But then again, if it's really okay, I'll make that excuse real. Who has no temper? Boom. Just when Zeus regretted that Kongsu was pretending to be dead, the scene surrounded by blue lightning dimmed. The light curtain surrounded by golden thunder lights up again. Dark night. Thor is wearing ordinary clothes and standing on the edge of the galaxy, the world tree looming in his eyes. At the moment is already the 7th day after his trial of the 3 gods. The turbulent divine power that had just been transformed before has already calmed down and is completely under his control. The next step is very simple. As time grows, the divine power will naturally grow. As for the 3 priesthoods, the power of thunder, flame, and wisdom is not as simple as it seems on the surface, especially wisdom. In addition to keeping his mind clear all the time, learning magic and runes more easily, and seeing through illusions, and having a higher spiritual vision, Thor clearly feels that there is more powerful power contained in it. But that needs to be discovered by yourself. Instead of obtaining the priesthood, it is equivalent to obtaining everything. But the good news is that I have a lot of time. In the records, every Eza Protoss who obtained divine power has a lifespan of at least 5,000 years. According to his guess, the blessings of his 3 priesthoods are probably much more than 5,000 years. Off-screen, Tony sighed in his heart. It is a lie to say that such a long life is not enviable. If I own it, I'm afraid I can learn more knowledge, and even study the mysteries of the universe. The human body is still too short to live. But at this moment, he suddenly remembered the words of the accuser Ronan. Perhaps technology may not be unable to solve the problem of longevity. For example, the supreme wisdom in the other party's mouth. That seems like a direction to see. At this moment Thor's mood is very relaxed, and I plan to go to Alfheim for a while to relax. The elves there are not only beautiful, but the food is also very good. Practice needs to be stretched and relaxed, which is more beneficial. Excessive tension will only make the mind exhausted, and the efficiency of doing anything will be very low. At this moment, he heard a whimpering sound. The next second, he saw a small snake swimming towards him. Thor didn't use his strength at all. But from his perspective, it was clear that it was Liu Oji who became. He pretended he didn't see anything, and wanted to see what kind of prank the other party was up to. I haven't cleaned up the child for a while, and my hands are still itchy. 036 Thor, sure enough, bullying Liu Oji is interesting. The little green snake made a slight indentation on the grass. What Thor didn't expect was that Liu Oji didn't hide her tracks, but instead crawled in front of her in a swaggering manner. You don't think I like snakes very much, do you? Thor said with a face of speechlessness. The little snake was silent, then opened its mouth wide. Just when Thor thought that the other party was going to bite him, a golden apple covered with saliva fell out of Liu Oji's mouth. The next second, Luoji's flattering voice came from the little snake's mouth. Invincible and cool elder brother, this is the golden apple in the forest of witches that my mother secretly gave me last time. It can not only increase the magic power, but the most important thing is that the taste is very special. Now your sister will sacrifice to you. Try it quickly. It turns out that the special taste is your point. No, that's not the point. Thor is speechless again. Do you think I would like to eat an apple covered with your saliva? Luoji nodded. It's all written in the book. Thor was furious immediately, bent his fingers to the little snake's head, and then reprimanded him. Stop showing me those travel novels in the future. Luoji returns to her original real body, covering her head with an aggrieved expression. Doomsday timeline. Take shelter in a hotel from a storm. Hilwai stared blankly at the girl in the picture who was covering her head exactly like herself. Her eyes were full of envy. That flick of the finger seems to reprimand, but it is actually love. It would be great if my elder brother was like this, and he doesn't have to just hide in the doomsday to avoid being captured by TVA. Say it. Ask me for something. Thor asked with a straight face. He can think of this question with the hair of his hair. The girl must have come to ask himself. Otherwise, if this golden apple can leave a bite, it will be regarded as her love for brother. Luoji immediately stopped covering her head, hugged Thor's arm and said with a smile, "The mighty Thor Odinson, for mother's sake, tell me how you passed the trial of the three gods." That process has now become Asgard's top secret. No one can see it except Odin. Thor can see what Loki wants at a glance. Don't think about Luoji. You will never pass the trial of the three gods. It's better to just wait for your father to grant you a god. Luoji's complexion suddenly collapsed, and the naked eye could see that she was unhappy and said, But that's just a false god." Quill, why is it called a false god? Aren't they all gods of Asgard? Kongzu, naive. If Odin bestows gods on others, then it is not only the 9 realms, but the entire universe belongs to the heirs of Protos. Magician Wang, is there any difference? Kongsu, the difference is huge. One has divine power, and the powerful power brought by the priesthood. The other is just nice to hear, but in fact it's not a fart. Sif, no, that represents the glory of Asgard. Off screen. Hearing this, there was a look of disappointment off the screen. One thing to say, he also plans to mix up with Thor, and when the other party becomes the queen of the gods, he will make himself a god. But now it seems that he is thinking too much, and the glory of that fart can't be spent as money. It seems that this half-brother does not recognize it. Thor heard the dissatisfaction in Luoji's heart. But there is no way. The real priesthood of Asgard is either awakening itself, or participating in the trial of the three gods. There is no third way, and the first two are almost the same as none. Luoji is more than 100 years old, and there is no sign of it. The faith is actually doomed. More importantly, it's strange that he looks at Luoji's bloodline with his eyes now. He felt the blessing of Odin on it, and a hint of coldness. However, he intends to rot this matter in his stomach for the rest of his life, so he is not entangled. Luoji is a younger sister, and the younger sister is Luoji, so there is no need to think about it. Many viewers outside the screen were not too surprised by Luoji's identity. However, Thor's idea surprised many people, at least for now. It seems that Luoji is very lucky. Thor still didn't tell Luoji the content of the trial of the three gods. Just to comfort the conferred gods, I will take the other party to the kingdom of elves to relax. Luoji was very angry, and turned into a snake again, snorting and biting Thor's shoulder. Then there is a bang. The little snake paused for a moment, then jumped into the water the next second, crying like fleeing. Seeing this, Thor picks up the dropped things from the ground, and shouts at the back of the little snake, "Luoji, your snake tooth fell out." After saying this, the little snake immediately swam faster. Thor let out a laugh, shoving his teeth into his clothes. Sure enough, bullying my sister is more interesting. 037 surprise. Snapped. Thor slaps himself hard. Just now, he thought this Loki was a little cute, so he wondered if Loki could be a little cute. Then, FK it. The picture of Loki in women's clothing in my mind was so disgusting that I almost vomited myself out of nausea. At this moment, he couldn't help feeling a little jealous of himself in another timeline. The younger sister is cute and eye-catching, and it's quite worry-free to look stupid. It's not like my side. I thought that he fell into the universe and died, so I cried for several days, and even dug the grave for the clothes. As a result, this guy cheated and invaded Midgard. When Heimdall told himself, he still didn't believe it. As a result, I was almost pissed off when I arrived on the Earth. I don't know how it is now. With that second-rate phantom magic, it's easy to be hammered. It's really worrying. I don't know if my mother will recognize that face when I bring it home. 5 days later, Luoji's conferred god ceremony has been delayed. Thor didn't expect that his younger sister was very strong-hearted, and she didn't intend to accept the title of a false god. According to what the other party and the father said, she wants to awakening herself to gain divine power, just like the ancestors of Asgard. Baron Mordo, Universe 838, faith is good, but she will never succeed as a giant of Jotunheim. Magician Wang, that's right, at least she won't die after participating in the trial of the three gods. Tony, I think she might not even be able to participate in the trial of the three gods. After all, it is the trial of the royal family of Asgard. Asgard calms down again. At this moment, the screen began to advance rapidly and jump. Soon, the time will come to 1,200 years later. It's still a temple, and there are still dense crowds of Asgard standing below. Fairies sing, elves sprinkle flowers. It looks like a very special day. At this moment, many people recalled the scene in the light curtain surrounded by blue thunder. Off-screen, Morbius speculates that this could be Thor's God King Day. I just don't know if there will be an accident this time. After all, this timeline has never been seen in TVA. At this time, cheers appeared in the crowd. That's Thor wearing thunder armor and a cloak of flames descending from the sky. His appearance has hardly changed much, but the aura of the king on his body is more intense. The next second, a group of golden divine power gathered to form the God King Odin wearing golden armor, sitting majestically on the throne. In comparison, he is much older. The next moment, Luoja walked to the middle of the altar from the passage below, and knelt down on one knee. Today is her god-conferring ceremony. 1,200 years ago, she did not have the priesthood of awakening. Today, God King Odin conferred the godship on her. Kongsu, I guessed wrong. Hee. It seems that no matter which timeline Odin is willing to hand over the position of God King. Ad Surti, ha, a power-hungry ignorant Odin. I'm sure I over there will bring Ragnarok soon. Sif, impossible. The king of God must have a deep meaning. Hela, poor warrior, like a once brainwashed Valkyrie, so pathetic. Hell dimension. Mephisto leaned on his chin with one hand, thinking in his eyes. To be honest, at this moment he quite agrees with what the woman named Sif said, and thinks that Odin on the opposite side may really have a deep meaning. Very simple reasoning. Odin on his side almost passed the position to the arrogant Thor, and Thor over there, as the god of thunder, fire and wisdom, is not only stronger, but also wiser. Not to mention those bad personalities. As long as there is nothing wrong with Odin's brain, there is no reason not to pass the position. Mephisto at the moment has a premonition. If he guessed correctly, someone might be in trouble. Huge amounts of inside the temple. Compared to Thor's frenzied eyes on the Asgard people, at the moment more people looked at Luoja with blessings and joy in their eyes. Asgard people live long, and many people watched these two princes and daughters grow up. Although Luoja liked to play pranks since she was a child, she would be beaten up by the even more powerful Thor afterwards. This used to be a very charming landscape in Asgard, coupled with the awe of Thor's royal temperament since he was a child. On the contrary, Luoja, who is always silly and happy, is approached by many older women in Asgard. At this time, Odin lightly shook the eternal spear, and the temple fell silent. But just when Odin was about to speak, Luoja suddenly raised her head and said, God King Odin, today I want to see the trial of the three gods. Completely different from the previously agreed decision, she did not accept the conferred god. For a moment, Thor frowned. He didn't expect that after 1,200 years, Luoja didn't give up this idea, but used this method to complete it. And for the glory and majesty of Asgard, I am afraid that my father can only agree. At this moment, he was thinking rapidly about how to save his sister. Although so many years have passed, he knows that Luoja's strength has not increased much. The most important is wisdom. This idiot will definitely not be able to pass it. Definitely, there is another possibility that makes him a little uneasy. Three gods trial may deny Luoja to enter. Chatroom. Thor, I was wrong. Loki, this female version of you can outshine you. Loki, idiot, we're not the same person. We just happen to be giants of Jotunheim, and both just happen to be raised by our father. Sif, this is too impulsive. She will die. Hela, isn't it normal for an idiot who can't see himself to die? Besides, she has the blood of the giants of Jotunheim. 038 Thor, exactly. It's the giants of Jotunheim. The temple was silent. No one expected that Luoja would choose the trial of the three gods. Although Thor has already passed, there is only one Thor in the history of Asgard. This is no longer an adventure that can be described. At this moment, all the Asgardians under the altar hope that the God King will refuse. On the throne, Odin looked directly into Luoja's eyes. The latter's face was a little frightened, but he still raised his head unwillingly. Are you ready to die in the trial? Odin said in a low voice. Luoja gritted her teeth. My glory will never retreat in this life. This is what Thor said back then, and it was also what Odin asked at the time. Agatha, looking at this stubborn expression, it seems that she is not reconciled. Tony, in my opinion, it's Thor on the other side that puts a lot of pressure on Rocky. Her brother is too good. She can't bear to be a waste. Otherwise, she would not remember what Thor said 1,000 years ago. Gamera, but it's too irrational. Impulsiveness will only lead you into the abyss, and maybe your loved ones will be sad and hurt by it. Thor, you're right. Holy place number 2. Seeing this, Xingyan clenched his fists. But he didn't dare to look up at Gamera who was beside Thanos, and he didn't dare to scold this hypocritical sister in the chat room. How can the winner understand what the loser is thinking? After all, they are superior. Odin looked at Luoja with firm eyes. and sighed inwardly. He stood up from the throne and said slowly, Then, under the witness of all the people of Asgard, Rocky Odinson, you will. There are intruders. Thor's gaze instantly burst into an astonishing light, as if he could see through space. The next second, in the shock of everyone's eyes, Thor, who was wrapped in thunder, held up Mjolnir. In an instant, a golden lightning with astonishing divine power erupted from above, rushing straight into the dark cloud-covered sky. Boom! With a frightening thunder, the space seemed to tremble. Then all Asgardians who looked in the direction of Thor's gaze saw a miracle. I saw dense golden thunder falling from the dark clouds, and then bombarded the island where the treasure house of Asgard is located. Boom boom boom. At this moment, the whole of Asgard is trembling slightly. And at this moment, everyone followed the voice and looked over. In an instant, the fighters who were fortunate enough to fight side by side with Thor showed nostalgic and emotional expressions. They haven't seen such a scene of Tanwai for hundreds of years. But when they saw the incomparably shocked expressions of those people, they couldn't help showing a look of pride on their faces. It seems to say that you are so lucky to be able to see Prince Thor's shot off-screen. Thor stared blankly at the scene on the screen. This kind of terrifying thunderstorm is coming at the opponent's call, but I am afraid that even if I try my best, I will not be able to achieve it. 1,200 years, how terrifying this guy has become, and how much he has pulled himself down. At this moment, he suddenly felt Liu Oji's feeling. The other party must have seen such a shocking scene before. Chatterum, Fandral, what a mighty Thor. Sif, golden thunder, I feel oppressed even through the light curtain. Tony, this is indeed a bit too exaggerated. Why does it feel like the one in the mythology book? Steve Rogers, if Thor came here that night, I guess your battlesuit will be charged and explode. Tony, Captain, you can actually say the word charge, which is an improvement. Banner, I always thought that Thor was not like Thor, so I misunderstood. Loki, be confident, you're right. Thor, Hela, well, Odin over there is really lucky. With this kind of power at hand, this Thor probably controls at least half of the power of the priesthood. Kongsu, look at Tanwai. Zeus, why don't you think about being an assistant god? Maybe someday Odin will let you into Asgard's soul castle. Zeus, don't be too jumpy. Kongsu, you don't think the thunder arrow can't penetrate the barrier of reality, do you? Remember, the god realm of Thebes is not an inaccessible place. Kongsu, then I will give you a warm welcome. Zeus, Humphrey. The golden thunderstorm didn't last long. 10 seconds later, Thor put down Mjolnir, and the sky suddenly returned to its original clear appearance, and the thunderstorm completely dissipated. It's just that the island that was bombarded looks a bit miserable. The golden palace blessed by the Luni rune has collapsed, completely exposing the broken Asgard treasure house on the top floor below. Thor, what happened? Liu Oji stood up and asked in panic. Use this trick in Asgard, and you won't be afraid to hack Deadman. Thor said with a serious expression. There was an intruder in the treasure house just now. Let's go and see who is so bold. As he spoke, he held Liu Oji's hand, who was still a little dazed, and the cloak of flames shook behind him, and he flew away through the air with Liu Oji. Odin also turns into a golden light and flies away. Frigga, who was standing on the side of the altar, blinked her eyes, as if she understood something, and didn't follow her. 10 seconds later, when Thor and the others stepped into the treasury, they saw the fainted guards and many broken walls. However, there is no corpse of the intruder. Seeing this scene, Liu Oji immediately frowned and said, Brother, are you reading it wrong? Thor glanced at his sister lightly, and said indifferently, Under these eyes of mine, there is nothing to disguise, and it is impossible to see anything wrong. There are indeed intruders here. It's just that they have already melted under the thunder. At this moment, Liu Oji suddenly thought of something, and her eyes widened. You mean? Thor nods. That's right, it's the giants of Jotunheim. 039. I will sneak in. Chatterum. Kongsu, interesting. It seems that no matter which timeline, giants of Jotunheim will steal casket of ancient winters at this time node. Fandral, just a bunch of scumbags, doomed every time. President Loki, TSK. This is the first time I've seen a timeline self-correct without TVA intervention. What a surprise. Female judge, you talk too much. Loki, I warn you again, the void is your last mercy. Don't seek your own death. Hearing this threat, President Loki sneered off-screen. With this light curtain, I am afraid TVA will cut off many existences after the end. I just don't know if this group of people dare to do it in the face of those real bosses. He felt that TVA was not far from the day when it messed with the wrong person and self-destructed. Asgard treasure house. Hearing Thor's words, Liu Oji's face grew angry. This group of ice giants who never know what temperature is, also don't know how to be grateful. As she spoke, she turned to look at Odin and begged, Father, let Thor and I lead the army to crush Jotunheim, and let them know what will happen to offending Asgard. Odin looked at the intact treasure house, was silent for a moment and said, We have an armistice agreement. We should not take the initiative to attack. That would ruin Asgard's reputation, and those countries attached to God's domain will feel uneasy. Liu Oji said excitedly, but the glory of Asgard shall not be trampled on. Odin shakes his head. Add, only the three of us know about this. I will also order these Asgard guards not to tell what happened today, and no one else will know. Next, fix the loopholes here, and this matter will be over. Loki still wanted to refute something, but was stopped by Thor, and saw that the other party gave her a wink. Although she is not reconciled, she believes that Thor must have other ways. Odin didn't seem to see the eyes between the two, and said again, your three gods have been tested for a while, and there is a security loophole in God's domain, so it is not suitable for the trial at this time. Loki nods. She agrees with Odin's decision on this point, as it should. Back to Thor's palace. Loki couldn't help but ask immediately, Thor, why did you stop me just now? Maybe if you ask your father again, he will agree. Father is really old. He would never have been like this before. Thor smiles and explains, Father wants to maintain the stability of God's domain, which is correct from Asgard's point of view. However, we are still young. It is right not to have that kind of thinking. Loki suddenly became excited. I knew it, brother. You are still on my side. Quickly tell me, what shall we do next? Thor shows a sneer. Definitely let the giants of Jotunheim understand what fear is. Loki's eyes lit up, and she said expectantly, shall we sneak to Jotunheim? Thor nods. Add, that's right. But when Loki was excited, he said again, but before that, let me investigate first. We have a small number of people, and it is too unrealistic to fight with the giants of Jotunheim army on a large scale. The best thing is to find out where the king of the giants of Jotunheim is and go straight to beheading. Loki didn't think there was any problem. She believed in Thor's wisdom very much. Professor X, 838 Universe, also went to Jotunheim for revenge. One does not make any preparations, but the other knows to investigate in advance. I am afraid that the anger of the Odin God King at that time was not just that they went to Jotunheim privately to take revenge. Anymore. Maybe the great Thor already thought he was invincible. Hela, the root of everything is because of stupidity. Sif, Thor, he just has no experience in this field. There will be no next time. Off-screen, Thor blushed, but couldn't refute. Back then, I really should have gone to spy on information alone first. Even if he was discovered, Mjolnir would not be able to stop him from escaping in the group of giants of Jotunheim. But Sif is right. I should remember the lesson, just to see how the other self is doing. Night. Thor arrives inside Bifrost alone. Heimdall with the two-handed column sword opened his eyes and said in a respectful tone, Prince Thor, where are you going? Fandel, this is Heimdall? Hogan, we stopped when we were going, but it turned out to be the other way around, which is outrageous. Add, Quill, don't be jealous. Why don't you have such a Thor? Jotunheim. Thor finished speaking calmly, without any intention of explaining. Heimdall didn't ask, and directly inserted the rune greatsword into the Bifrost, accompanied by a huge roar. The turbulent colorful energy engulfs Thor across the universe, and arrives at the icy planet in a blink of an eye. However, upon landing, Thor did not scrupulously search the palace of the king of the giants of Jotunheim. He just raised his head and looked in one direction. A few seconds later, as if I had confirmed something, a terrifying divine power erupted from my body. With the shock of the flame cloak, Thor flew out with a bang. Boom. This planet that has been silent for an unknown number of years has a violent thunder. Looking from a distance, you can clearly see the scarlet swimming rapidly in the clouds, accompanied by frightening lightning wherever it passes. All sleeping giants of Jotunheim along the way are awakened. They raised their heads angrily, but immediately lowered their instinctive fear. They don't know what it is, they only know that it is definitely not something they can face. Until 10 seconds later, a majestic voice came from above the blue-black ice palace that seemed to be more ancient. Giants of Jotunheim Lauf, get out of here. Thor looks confused off-screen. One thing to say, does he still need to learn? O Frost Dragon. Add. At this moment, looking at Thor who was exuding divine power in the sky and did not hide himself at all, countless people were stunned. You call this stealth? At this moment, many people had a strange idea in their hearts. Is there something wrong with this timeline? Or am I having a problem? There can't be something wrong with Thor anyway. Chatroom. Tony, I didn't know what to say for a while. Quill. Open your eyes today, this Thor redefines what stealth is. Natasha Romanoff, he's not going to kill all the giants of Jotunheim, is he? That would be the perfect stealth. Deadpool, got it. False stealth sneaks past all sentry, true stealth lures all enemies in one go. Learned. I will do the same next time. Drax, what a fierce man. Just do it. Gamera, I can't understand, so why did he talk so much to Loki before? Nebula, HMPH. Clearly he was cheating on his sister. Gamera. Don't substitute personal emotions, what you have to do is analyze. Add. Nebula, I know. Thor Odinson. Accompanied by roar, the top floor of the ice palace exploded, and Lauf jumped out from inside, looking angrily at the sky and shouting, Asgard is going to tear up the agreement. Do you want to go to war with the giants of Jotunheim? Accompanied by Lauf's words, densely packed giants of Jotunheim appeared on the ground. They looked at the sky angrily at the same time, roaring incessantly, waiting for orders to tear apart the invaders at any time. The scene looked extremely oppressive, but Thor didn't even frown. He just looked down at Lauf with cold eyes, and said lightly, "You are also worthy." Lauf's eyes suddenly became scarlet, and he roared, "Junior, did Odin send you here? He will regret it. He will lose his son today." Speaking, he swung his fist violently and hit the top floor of the palace with one punch. In an instant, the sound of shattering continued, a huge amount of cracks burst out, and the ice palace split in half in the blink of an eye, revealing a dark abyss. Lauf jumps down into the darkness without any hesitation. Next second, a deafening dragon roar came from below, and all the giants of Jotunheim suddenly looked in awe. Roar! Exclamation mark. There was another loud roar. A huge monster more than 300 meters long flew out of the abyss, roaring continuously in the air as if covering the sky and blocking out the sun. It's an ice dragon covered in dark blue scales, with heart-throbbing tyranny in its eyes. Exclamation mark. And at the moment Lauf is standing on top of the dragon's head, looking fiercely at Thor. "Arrogant prince of Asgard, what do you think I used to fight you back then?" "Certy, strange, this stupid dragon is still alive." How did Lauf raise it? "Which Agatha, I'm afraid it's because of the ice, directly freezing the vitality of the ice dragon." "Fandral, with this body type, the ones chasing us back then didn't even have a tenth of its size." "It seems that it was really a lifesaver." "Kongzu, rather than escape, it's better to say that Lauf didn't intend to kill you at all. Otherwise, you wait until Odin comes to the rescue." "Tony, from this point of view, this Thor's behavior is actually a bit unwise." "Zeus, Asgard's traditional arrogant behavior. It seems that even this Thor can't avoid it." "Odin, would you like me to discipline the children for you? I'm still very experienced in this area." "Frigga, the kindness of God King Zeus is appreciated. Your Excellency should be busy with having a child, otherwise once the last child becomes an adult, I am afraid that the prophecy will not be fulfilled." "Zeus, well, don't worry about it." Frigga was not happy after beating Zeus, but was very worried about Thor on another timeline. If Heimdall over there didn't report to Odin, I'm afraid there will be real danger. The ice dragon's wings are constantly waving, as if a heavy hammer is bombarding the air, making the sky seem to be shaking. Lauf thought the other party would panic. His eyes were full of fear. However, when he looked over, what he saw was still that calm face. This made him even more angry. Exclamation mark. Thor doesn't care about the mood of the other party, but his eyes are indifferent, and he said lightly, "Without the casket of ancient winters, is this Jotunheim's last card?" Lauf, the king of giants of Jotunheim, showed a sinister smile. "Why, are you testing me?" "This is too tender." Thor shook his head, looked at the ice dragon. A cruel smile gradually appeared on the corner of his mouth. "No, I mean, from now on, it will no longer exist." Boom. The voice fell, and a bucket-thick golden lightning fell from the sky on Thor. "Oh, for one dragon slaying, 2 in 1. The sky of Jotunheim shook. Golden thunder flares erupted from Thor, and bolts of lightning wrapped around him. The cold and ferocious armor of divine power is closed piece by piece, and the runes of Luni are constantly shining on it. But it's not over yet. The flame cloak behind him spread red flames, as if overflowing magma was swimming in the gaps in the armor. Burst out fiery red. The giants of Jotunheim at the bottom looked up at the moment, as if they saw the gods wrapped in thunder and flames coming down to earth, and they were about to send divine punishment to this ice country. This moment, they haven't fought yet, their hearts are instinctively uneasy, and they can't help but feel fear. Flame, the sky beats the ice. Deadpool, I'm so envious, when can I have this special effect? President Loki, I've seen Thor in several timelines, but this. The appearance of power is off the charts. Fandral, this. I can't even imagine how strong this would be. Sif, from this point of view, this Thor is not arrogant. This should be the self-confidence of the strong. Certy, looks like Lauf over there is going to be in trouble. Kongsu, the 3 priesthoods are really perverted. This kid is only 1,500 years old, so he can have this kind of power. It's really unfair. Hela, not fair? That's ridiculous. You're just insulting yourself by saying that. Kongsu, Asgard has trials of the 3 gods. There are 12 trials in the pantheon. After passing, there will be stronger power. I don't believe that there is no similar existence in Thebes' god realm. If you feel that you are weak, then go get it yourself. Don't complain like a piece of trash. Fighting swords, Asgard's goddess of death? Although I was very upset when you took the name of death before, what you said is so right. Envying the power of others is not as good as being strong yourself. You are such a strong person. It is really hard to understand why Odin wants to seal you. Pity. Hela, no pity. I will take back what belongs to me in the future, and use blood to calm the anger in my heart. Thor, I will never let you succeed. Hela, well, if it's Thor on the screen, he's still qualified to say that. And you, my stupid brother, stop humiliating yourself here. Off-screen Thor held Mjolnir firmly and did not answer. At this moment, he felt the heaviness on it for the first time. That represents more than power. In the sky, the ice dragon let out an uneasy roar, as if sensing the strength of the enemy. However, this made Lauf even more angry. Being defeated by Odin back then, losing the casket of ancient winters, and being driven back to Jotunheim was humiliating enough. I didn't expect that a brat would dare to insult me now. So what about amazing power? In terms of strength, it can still be stronger than Odin back then? He doesn't believe it. This is my home field. Die to me. Lauf roared, and controlled Frost Dragon to kill without hesitation. Roar! The uneasiness in the ice dragon's eyes turned into tyranny. Under the vibration of the wingspan longer than the body, the speed was surprisingly fast. Huge amounts of body rammed towards Thor with a strong sense of oppression. However, Thor didn't move, nor did he dodge in any way. Quill, isn't that evasion? With the accumulation of this kind of potential energy, I am afraid that even a mountain can be smashed, and it is not wise to head on. Tony, do you think this Thor looks like an idiot? Gwen, Universe 65, well said Iron Man, I'm now looking forward to how he will deal with it. And at this moment, it wasn't just Gwen. Almost all viewers are looking forward to how Thor will solve it. Thor stands in the sky, the cloak of flames rattles behind him. He watched the frost dragon approaching him continuously, and the high-temperature red light in the gap of the armor on his body became brighter and brighter. It seems that what is inside is not a body of flesh and blood, but a sun. And at the moment, closer, getting closer. The distance of hundreds of meters is about to be crossed in a second, and it's about to hit. Lauf grinned ferociously, and pressed down with both hands, and in an instant, the ferocious black and blue ice armor was attached to the head of the ice dragon. That is, the same moment of completion. It seems that the ice dragon that can smash everything hits the body surrounded by thunder and flames in front. However, whether it is the scene of Thor being knocked into the air, the horrible flame explosion still didn't happen. In Lauf's astonished gaze, there is only a phantom of green light disappearing. It turned out to be fake. Lauf yells out in disbelief. At this time, someone behind him suddenly replied, "Why, haven't you seen this trick in the war back then? Or, do you think he is a reckless man who can only go straight?" In an instant, the sarcasm sounded in his ears, causing Lauf, the giants of Jotunheim, to feel an unprecedented coolness rushing into his brain, and his body stiffened. "He's behind me." "When?" "How can it be?" Outside the light curtain, countless people opened their mouths involuntarily at this moment because they didn't find out when Thor used phantom magic. Chatroom. Magician Wang, if face to face, I might be able to perceive the magic wave, but now I can't understand how he left a phantom. And then went to the back of the ice dragon. Agatha, I didn't see through either. Kesilius, previously, we have been focusing on Thor's divine power, completely ignoring that he used to be a magician with extremely high spellcasting ability. After more than 1,000 years, his phantom magic may not be able to see through many people. President Loki, outrageous. Compared to this Thor, I feel like my phantom magic is fake. Land of the Void. The eyes of the old Loki hiding underground are full of shock. Also a master of phantom magic, he can see how Thor works. From the moment the ice dragon started to sprint, that Thor used advanced light manipulation to complete the refraction and invisibility. And even more powerful, he still used phantom magic at the same time. In other words, while Thor is invisible, his phantom is ready. After that, he just hides above the impact point and waits to fall. This may seem simple, but it is actually very difficult. Dual purpose, double casting. He asked himself that he would never be able to do it. On the head of the ice dragon, the crimson color on Thor's body is just like the phantom before. Don't worry, your life is still useful to me. Thor didn't attack Lauf. At the same time, after reacting, Lauf turned around and counterattacked without any hesitation. The ice thorn in his palm pierced behind him. Boom. This time, it's no longer a phantom, but that seems even more terrifying. Lauf's wrist was tightly held, and the ice thorns couldn't pierce forward even an inch. And that burning palm already made him feel pain. How can your strength be so great? Lauf shouted out in shock. Thor looked at the shocked and terrified expression in front of him, and sneered, "No. You are too weak. Without the blessing of the casket of ancient winters. And remember what I said? He wants to slay the dragon." Lauf suddenly changed his face again, and ice gathered shape-shifting rapidly on the surface of his body, as if he wanted to become a giant. However, in the next second, Thor directly kicked the ice that appeared in front of him, and hit Lauf's chest directly. With a scream, Lauf shot into the broken palace like a cannonball. Thor didn't want to kill the opponent in time, but kept the opponent useful, so this blow is not fatal. Lauf quickly climbed out of the collapsed ruins and looked to the sky, but in the next second, his eyes almost burst. I saw Thor holding Mjolnir high in the sky. Streams of flaming divine power continued to spread out from the gaps in the crimson armor, climbing on the hammer along his arms. They are constantly compressing and rolling, and you can vaguely see the formation of red loony runes. The ice dragon sensed the danger, kept roaring, flapping its wings and turning its body like crazy. but no matter how it shakes, Thor always stands firmly on its head. At this time, the blue cold air visible to the naked eye emanated from the ice dragon, and the surrounding space suddenly condensed into snowflakes. Off-screen, Caecilius showed shocking eyes because he has already recognized that the snowflakes are not water at all, but the rare energy wandering in the air that has been frozen. It's unbelievable what kind of low temperature it is. However, the blue low temperature that can freeze energy was annihilated by the red heat before it even got close to Thor. There is no effect at all. The ice dragon's clear perception of all this suddenly creates a great fear that belongs to animals facing the hunter. At this moment, it forgot Lauf's order, and also forgot the tyranny in its blood. Like all lower animals, when it encounters danger, it will fly towards its own cave without hesitation. That is, the ice abyss. But at the moment is already late. At this moment, all the giants of Jotunheim saw that Thor seemed to raise a miniature sun, and then it fell mercilessly. 042 Lauf, people sit at home, carrying black pots on their backs. The hammer of the Death Star forged by King Dwarf fell on the ice blue dragon's head. The former is so small, not even half of the dragon scale of a frost dragon. However, when the hit, dragon's body suddenly stopped. That is, at the moment, all the giants of Jotunheim were astonished to find that Jotunheim returned to cold and dark again, and all the flames on the hammer disappeared. Failed? His divine power is not enough? Lauf couldn't help but feel ecstasy in his heart. Frost Dragon is the most powerful weapon of Jotunheim. Is it too important to giants of Jotunheim? But at the next moment, the dark world lights up again. Under Jonah, all the blazing heat that was compressed at the point of impact erupted in a more violent way. The red flames are like an ancient titan suddenly opening its eyes filled with boundless anger. The 300-meter-long Frost Dragon was submerged by a huge fireball almost instantly, and a sun appeared in the sky and was falling rapidly. On the ground, all the giants of Jotunheim were stunned for a moment, then showed extremely terrified expressions, and ran desperately in the opposite direction to where their king was. That kind of heat, that kind of scale, the gap in the abyss cannot be accommodated, and it will definitely explode on the palace. Escape. Only the further you escape, the slightest chance of surviving! And in the ruins of the palace, Lauf looked at the sun falling in the sky motionless. At this moment, he can even feel that the terrible temperature has begun to erode him, and his skin feels like a needle prick. The surrounding palace built with billions of years of ice has even melted and made a kai-kai sound. Lauf stared blankly at the sky, without the slightest thought of avoiding it. The reflection in his eyes was getting bigger and bigger. Are you going to die? I didn't expect this day to come so suddenly. There is not even the slightest sign. But immediately there was a kind of enlightenment in his eyes. I see. Is that old fellow Odin wanting his son to kill me, so as to announce to the 9 realms that a new god king has appeared? Absolutely! In an instant, greater anger rose in Lauf's heart. Why? Everyone clearly has an armistice agreement. He looked at the sun that was about to devour him, and roared angrily, "Despicable as good people, you broke the contract thousands of years ago, but the Ice family will never surrender. Although I will die, a new king will be born eventually. And in hell, my soul will curse you as good for 10,000 years, curse you." The sun went out, and a pair of pale keel fell with a bang, shattering the bones on the ground, and the huge and empty eye sockets of the dragon head are unbiased, as if he is dying, staring at Lauf with his mouth wide open like a wax figure. At this time, a flat voice came from the dragon's skull. "Why? Do you want to die too?" "If you want, I can help you." Lauf raised his head stiffly, his eyes dazed for a moment, as if he saw a god more terrifying than Odin before. His eyes were blazing and thunderous, and he was looking down at him. There was a moment of silence outside the screen. In the next second, in the chat room, "Deadpool, damn it, can someone really be so cool?" "Quill, that's what you call a force." In comparison, Sovereign's group of crazy guys are a group of golden shit. Hogan, although I think this Thor will definitely win, it seems too simple. The ice dragon can't even resist and was killed. Magician Wang, it's completely crushing, and what's even more outrageous is that I still think he didn't use his full strength. Gamera, are all the Ezras so powerful? Kongsu, how is it possible? The last one who was so dazzling was Odin. Zeus, hee. It seems that Asgard over there will be safe for at least 10,000 years. As long as the brain is not broken, no one will mess with this new god. Certi, poor Lauf. There is no casket of ancient winters, and now even the frost dragon is gone. President Loki, don't sigh. The other you are probably also very pitiful. Certi, the other I don't care what I do. You're stupid. Loki, Fandral, I laughed so hard, someone got taunted by a flame giant with nothing but lava in his head. Kerry battleship. At this moment, Ronan's dark eyes burst into flames of desire. Thor's celestial attitude just now lingers in his mind for a long time. He knew that Odin was very powerful, but he didn't expect his son Thor to be so powerful. Although the one on my side is a piece of trash, at least he has the priesthood of Thor. doesn't he? I just don't know if that thing can be deprived by relying on the powerful technology of the Kree Empire. If it is possible, he can definitely expand the Empire's territory tenfold. On the dragon's skull, Thor did not continue to press Lauf if he wanted to die, and gave the King of Giants of Jotunheim a little face. After all, there is still something to ask for the cooperation of the other party. Lauf at the moment also regained his composure and snorted coldly, but he didn't dare to say the curse words before. Tell me, what do you want to do? At the moment, he already understood that the other party definitely didn't mean to save his life, but must do something by himself. Satisfied eyes appeared in Thor's eyes. He nodded and said, worthy of being the king of a clan, he knows how to choose. Don't worry, what I want you to do is actually very simple. Pause. Thor said seriously, first of all, you have to remember, just 10 minutes ago, you sent someone to Asgard to steal the casket of ancient winters. Lauf is immediately confused. What the hell? I was still sleeping on ice 10 minutes ago, why did I carry a cauldron on my back? 043 Lauf, that's why you killed my dragon? Chatterum. Deadpool, good guy, I said that there was a problem with the treasure house being stolen before, and the feeling is that this Thor void locks the enemy. So coquettish. Sif, thinking about it now, it really doesn't make sense. Before the destroyer killed the giants of Jotunheim and left Dross, but Thor's thunder left nothing. Gamera, so, it's all a play directed by Thor who doesn't want Loki to participate in Trials of the Three Gods. It directly cut off Luigi's possibility of knowing her life experience and almost 100% death fate. It can only be said that it is not a loss to have the God of Wisdom. Xinian, hey, shouldn't the point be to be a good brother? Quill, no, that's not the point either. The point is that giants of Jotunheim Lauf. It's so miserable, people are sleeping at home, and the pot comes from the sky. Kongsu, not miserable. In my opinion, Asgard will clean up Jotunheim sooner or later, but this process is ahead of schedule. Perhaps they were a stepping stone that Odin prepared for Thor. President Loki, absolutely. That old fox in Odin is full of hearts. Off-screen, Thor wanted to retort, but after thinking about it, maybe it seems that this is really possible. Even thinking about it, I am terrified that my father obviously had the ability to destroy the ice giants back then, but why didn't he do that? Now it seems that evenly matched is absolutely impossible. So, is it really kindness? He didn't dare to continue thinking about it. Among the ruins, Lauf endured the anger in his heart, and said hoarsely, if you want an excuse to start a war against Jotunheim, just come here, there is no need to be so hypocritical. Thor neither ridiculed nor sneered, but asked very flatly, do you think I need it? Lauf took a breath, and once again remembered the scene where Frost Dragon was instantly killed just now in his mind. The god of fire is the natural nemesis of the ice giant, an existence that can never be resisted. War, that's just a nice way of saying it. If the other party wants to, it will be a one-sided massacre. So what do you want to do? Lauf couldn't help asking again. Thor sighed, with an imperceptible helplessness in his eyes, and said, it's not a problem. I just want you to play a play with me tomorrow. Acting? Lauf raised his voice, his eyes filled with disbelief. Did I hear wrong? Still saying that I have been enchanted by illusion magic? Acting. UF King came here and killed me without any explanation, and the end result was to put on a play? I haven't left Jotunheim for more than 1,000 years, why is the world so crazy now? He couldn't accept it for a while. Listening to Lauf's roaring voice, many people nodded silently. That being said, it does sound crazy. It can only be said that the King of Giants of Jotunheim is indeed a bit pitiful. At this point Thor explains, tomorrow I will bring Liu Ojia and a few Asgard warriors to Jotunheim to attack you. Sneak attack on me? Lauf, who was still in shock, suddenly felt his scalp tingle again. If you don't sneak attack, you will die. Is there a way to survive the sneak attack? It's better to give it a good time. Thor sees what Lauf is thinking, and smiles. Don't worry, I said it's acting, which naturally includes sneak attack. You won't be seriously injured. I will give you a nice treasure. The effect is not very powerful, but it looks very bluffing. Remember to use it when the time comes. Definitely, the thing will be left to you as a reward in the end. Lauf was overjoyed when he heard treasure ice, but he was speechless when he heard the following words. He knew this Asgardian would not be so kind. As for the reward, Jotunheim really made a lot of money by exchanging one dragon for one waste. Lauf held back his emotions and continued to ask, so what's next? I tried my best to resist, but after a big battle, I was defeated by you. According to his guess, it should be this process. Perhaps, this matter will be turned into a story by Asgard. For a while, he felt even more uncomfortable, thinking that maybe death is the best destination. But at this time Thor shook his head and said meaningfully, on the contrary, I want you to win. The final outcome is that our group fled Jotunheim in embarrassment. Definitely, the most important thing is, never let Liu Ojia notice the abnormality, or you will understand. I understand, this is Asgard's playhouse, right? Lauf was extremely speechless at this moment, but he didn't dare to speak out. At least I won in the end, no shame, right? This is already the best result. Xinyan, hee. Liu Ji on the other side is lucky to have such a big brother to protect her, and she is even willing to act out the drama of failure. Tony, I'm suddenly looking forward to Thor's performance tomorrow. It must be very interesting. Hela, it's just a waste of my divine power. It's disappointing. Hill, are you disappointed? I'm really envious. In other words, Loki on every timeline should be very envious. President Loki, HMPH, how is that possible? I will never. Quill, dude, your tone is not convincing at all. But you can't fool me. President Loki, then you must be an idiot. Gamera, don't tell the truth that everyone knows. Quill. Then Thor told Lauf some details that should be paid attention to in detail, and handed a snowed crystal ball to the other party. Then Thor looked into the dark sky and said loudly, Heimdall, take me back. As his voice fell, without any delay, a colorful torrent immediately broke through the space and landed on him. Obviously, the gatekeeper has been waiting for Thor's order. After a few breaths, Thor returns to Asgard. He didn't go to Liu Ji first, but went to Odin's bedroom. 044 Loki, is this castle a bit new? As the king of God, Odin doesn't actually need sleep. And when he was asleep, it was more about the changes in divine power and the cultivation of the soul. The night and day of God's domain are just created for the care of ordinary Asgard people. Soon, Thor met Odin on the top floor of the bedroom. The other party, at the moment, sat casually on the stone steps, without Gungnir in his hand. At the moment was more like a calm old man. Father, I've already settled the deal with Jotunheim. Although Thor didn't say it in advance, he knew that his father knew what he wanted to do when he was in the Asgard treasury. Odin didn't respond, just smiled and patted himself beside him and told Thor to sit down. Then, he patted his son on the shoulder and sighed. You did a better job in this matter, otherwise I might have to play the role of a bad father at that time. Thor smiled, this is what I should do. Liu Ji is my sister after all. She doesn't count on herself. My elder brother can't watch her play with fire. Odin nodded, then suddenly said, look at Lauf's mouth tomorrow. If he has any signs of wanting to say that, kill him. Thor was taken aback for a moment, but immediately understood. Further refers to the problem of Liu Ji's bloodline. He was not surprised that his father already knew that he knew about it. After all, the other party knew about the power of his eyes. It's just that I didn't expect my father to do this for Liu Ji. You must know that the armistice agreement was decided by God King Odin, so killing Lauf in this way will definitely lose the majesty of God King. This is actually the real reason why he didn't kill Lauf yesterday. Otherwise, it shouldn't be too difficult to support a new Frost King. I will, father. Thor nodded solemnly, and then left the God King's bedroom. Deadpool, poor Lauf. Quill, poor Lauf. Tony, poor Lauf. Surty, poor Lauf. Grr, grr. For a while, the chat room was swiped, and for the first time on the matter of poor Lauf, everyone was surprisingly unanimous. Backing back to his palace, Thor saw Loki turning into a snake and bubbling in a pot of wine on the long table, obviously bored. Seeing him coming back, the little snake immediately spit out words, and asked in a crisp voice, Thor, have you found the location of the king of the giants of Jotunheim? Thor didn't answer, but pulled Liu Ji's tail out of the wine with a look of disgust, and hung it on the decorative tree in the house. Then he shook his hand, and then said, we've found it. We can call Fandral and the others to go with us in the second half of the night. Then his tone became serious. But remember, you must listen to my command when the time comes. The giants of Jotunheim and Jotunheim are more than imagined, and the strength is much stronger than the rebels we have defeated in the past. We want to win the battle quickly. History Stark building. Loki had a weird look on his face. Not because he already knew he was lying to Rocky, but because of this Thor's actions, he felt a strong sense of disobedience. After all, he is really familiar with his brother's smirking expression, not his serious acting skills. He turned his head to look at the mustache, and found that the other person also had a constipated expression on his face, and he immediately felt a lot more relaxed. It seems that he is not the only one suffering. The second half of the night, Thor, Liu Ji, and the three warriors set off for Bifrost. Not long after, a man in golden armor with a two-handed sword blocked the way. It's Heimdall. Look at my. Liu Ji raised her eyebrows at a few people, then walked over with a serious face, and said solemnly, we found clues to the previous invasion of Asgard's treasure house, and now we are going to Jotunheim to investigate. Gatekeeper Heimdall, please open Bifrost immediately to send us there. Heimdall is expressionless. Uni, the crow of the God King, did not deliver this order, so it is not allowed to pass. Liu Ji doesn't care. This is the normal situation. If Heimdall opened the door directly, she would not dare to enter. Liu Ji's expression didn't change. She said without any timidity, Prince Thor is here. Do you think he will deceive you? Still, do you think Prince Thor's status is lower than that of a crow? Heimdall is silent for a few seconds, sideways. Get out of the way. Loki turned her head immediately, blinked triumphantly at Thor, and then took the first stride into the interior of Bifrost. Afterwards, the three warriors, who were extremely surprised and a little confused at the same time, also followed. It's Thor's turn. When he passed by Heimdall, he patted Heimdall on the shoulder lightly to indicate that Heimdall had worked hard. After all, it is somewhat difficult for someone who can see through the 9 realms to pretend to be stupid. Fortunately, Heimdall is a paralyzed face. Listening to Thor's internal assessment off-screen, Heimdall touched his face. Then for the first time, I couldn't help but speak in the chat room. Heimdall, Hogan, am I paralyzed? Hogan! Exclamation mark. Sif, you don't know that you have facial paralysis? Question mark. Fandral, speaking of which, I suddenly realized that I haven't seen you with any other expressions since I was born. Vostag, it seems so. Thor, actually yes. He scolded Loki for lying to him, and his expression was a little angry at the time. Loki, thank you for reminding me. Off-screen, Heimdall breathes a sigh of relief. He said how could he have facial paralysis, that Thor must have remembered wrongly. Boom. On the barren and cold planet, several people landed in a remote location. Thor looked in the direction and sneaked in this direction. At the same time whispered, follow me closely, don't talk, or you might wake up the sleeping ice giant. It will be too troublesome then. The corners of the mouths of many people outside the screen twitched. The trouble with this big boss is probably that he still has to kill him secretly. Hearing Thor's instructions, the 3 warriors nodded solemnly, while Luoja was nervous and excited. In the past, she followed Thor all the way and pushed past, and this was the first time she was sneaking. But until several hours passed without seeing a single ice giant, she felt bored. It's boring, it's better to watch Thor push flatly, and she can bully others after following her. But fortunately, not long after, she saw the huge palace standing on a cliff. Gloomy, cold, lonely, exuding a penetrating breath. It's just that I don't know if it's an illusion. She always feels that this ice castle is a bit new? Question mark. A 4-5 powerful ice thing. Thor, are you sure this is the resting place of the king of the giants of Jotunheim? Why do I feel a little new? Luoji asked a little puzzled. Quill, I laughed so hard. Can you not be new? Lauf worked overtime last night to build it. Deadpool, it's okay, we have to build it tonight. Tony, and there will be a scene to be performed in a while. It looks like I feel hard. Magician Wang, not necessarily. If the performance is not good, maybe there is no need to cover it at night. It is estimated that Thor can melt him directly. As soon as these words came out, there was a moment of silence in the chat room. And then again it's all poor Lauf, and the atmosphere is surprisingly congenial. Hearing Luoji's question, Thor nodded vigorously. That's right, it's here. I caught several giants of Jotunheim for interrogation yesterday, and their answers were all consistent. Are you sure? Luoji looked suspicious. I'm sure. Thor nodded again. At this time, Fandral, who was as fat as a wine barrel, laughed softly. You are too careful, Luoji. The giants of Jotunheim have been isolated from the world for more than 1,000 years. There will be no problem. Luoji nodded, thinking this is the reason. Although I feel something is wrong in my heart, it can only be attributed to my wrong thinking. Soon, several people entered the castle under the invisibility controlled by Thor's high contour line. At first glance, there is no decoration at all in the palace, and there are no rooms. The empty hall is dark and cold, with no breath of life, only huge amounts of icicles extending to the depths, supporting the dome. And at the end, a shadow sits on the frozen throne. Just when Thor and the others took a few steps into the palace, a pair of scarlet eyes suddenly opened in the darkness, as if awakened with a start. Luoja was shocked inwardly. I don't know if the other party found himself and others, or just opened his eyes after having a nightmare. She thinks the possibility of the latter is very small. Sure enough, the next second she heard a hoarse and cold voice coming from the front. Stupid intruders, you should also cover your own temperature. Luoji suddenly realizes, I didn't expect this king of giants of Jotunheim to be so sensitive to temperature. No wonder even Thor's invisibility spell doesn't work. Aside, Thor secretly heaves a sigh of relief, looking at Lauf with cold eyes. I don't know if the king of giants of Jotunheim really fell asleep. I have created a loophole and left footprints on the ground, but the other party just didn't notice it. This made him have to control a ray of divine power, made a big turn, and then touched the opponent's back. Fortunately, the other party was very sensitive and woke up immediately. Otherwise, if we take a few more steps, the team will probably launch a sneak attack. It doesn't matter if this guy is dead, but the plan has completely failed. On the throne, Lauf woke up with a heart pounding. It's so dangerous. Why did I really fall asleep just now? Sure enough, I was too tired last night. Building such a huge amounts of palace is not easy at all. A king has never done this kind of work before, and ordinary giants of Jotunheim can't make such huge amounts of ice. God knows how he built this palace in the eyes of the people who are incomprehensible this night. In short, it took him a long time and a lot of energy to build this ice palace. Combined with the death of the ice dragon during the day before, he is really exhausted physically and mentally. So just now when Thor and others came in, he really didn't notice. At the moment, looking at Thor's cold eyes again, Lauf is expressionless, but he is angry and disturbed in his heart. Actually, he suggested yesterday, just find someone taller and get a throne, and just wait for them to come. As a result, the other party disagreed at all, saying that it was not realistic at all. Since it's not realistic, you can help me. Why come here and stare at me now? As good people are really unreasonable. At this moment, he thought of the dead Bing Shuang dragon again, and he was filled with grief and indignation. At the entrance of the palace, Liu Ji stared at the pair of scarlet eyes in the depths, and said coldly, "How did your people break into Asgard?" Maybe it flew in. A cauldron was placed on his head, but Lauf didn't dare to defend himself. He showed a gloomy expression, looked at Liu Ji and mocked, "Odin's Asgard is full of traitors. Don't try to tarnish my father's famous name with your lies." Liu Ji immediately refuted angrily and went back. Lauf stands up from the throne all of a sudden, his eyes are full of anger. "It's you who long for war, ignite the flames, and love blood to defend glory, and you are just a stupid weakling who wants to prove yourself." Speaking, Lauf showed a ferocious smile, "And now you will be my negotiating chips with Odin." As he spoke, he waved his arm vigorously, and suddenly a large number of giants of Jotunheim came out of the shadows, roaring like beasts and rushing towards them! The three warriors each charged towards the enemy ahead, and Liu Ji pressed both hands to the ground, and suddenly a wall of earth rose in front of her. The block giants of Jotunheim had to stop. But in the next second, two daggers flew from Liu Ji's hands, passed through the earth wall with green light without hindrance, and then sank into the bodies of the two giants of Jotunheim. The rest of the giants of Jotunheim immediately let out an angry roar, dashed through the phantom, and charged again. But when they attacked with ice thorns, they found that the woman in front of them had changed into a phantom and disappeared in place at some point. The other side. Thor at the moment has already fought Lauf. The two are waving their weapons, constantly colliding and fighting. The terrifying aftermath of the shock makes the nearby giants of Jotunheim die at the touch of it. Seeing this scene, Liu Ji, who was hiding in the shadows and turned into an assassin, immediately gave up the idea of attacking Lauf. She didn't expect that the Frost King could fight Thor evenly. But after thinking about it, Lauf was his father's opponent after all, and it's normal to have such strength. Many people outside the screen suddenly showed strange eyes. Chatterum, Deadpool, if I hadn't seen Thor kick Lauf away before, I would have believed it. Quill, I can only say that this Thor is not only powerful, but also has top-notch acting skills. Fighting sword, no, it doesn't matter what you say. The most amazing thing is this Thor's power manipulation, because he can't hurt Lauf, who is weaker than himself, and at the same time create a powerful aftermath, so that Liu Ji thinks that Lauf is really powerful. This control is really amazing. At this moment, a cry of pain appeared. Liu Ji turned her head to look and found that the right arm of Hogan, the master swordsman, was stabbed by ice. In desperation, she wanted to go over to help, but instead exposed her real body and was found and besieged. Liu Ji suddenly flustered. After all, in previous battles, she always stood behind Thor. Her brother's strength can crush all enemies. But unexpectedly, this time the king of the giants of Jotunheim actually held back Thor. Liu Ji keeps releasing some low-level magic, but that is obviously not enough for the giants of Jotunheim with high resistance. And because it was under siege at the moment, her best phantom magic is useless. For a while, Liu Ji herself became precarious and could be injured at any time. But even so, she gritted her teeth and insisted, not wanting to distract Thor. However, not long after, the dagger in her hand was sent flying due to a mistake, and she saw ice thorns stabbing towards herself. In an instant, the fear of death surged into her heart for the first time, and Liu Ji felt that she was going to die. But at this moment, the gloomy palace suddenly turned red. I saw a group of terrifying red fire crows flying out from the flame cloak behind Thor, smashing all the giants of Jotunheim apart from Lauf in an instant at an extremely fast speed. This familiar crushing made Liu Ji and the three warriors shout excitedly, cheering for Thor's strength, just like every time before. But right away they see an amazing blue light erupting from Lauf, knocking Thor back with a bang. The next second, Lauf held up a crystal ball with snowflakes floating on it, and roared angrily, "Damn Asgard people, I'm going to turn all of you into ice sculptures." As the voice fell, a faint blue light erupted from the crystal ball, and it started snowing in the palace. Thor quickly blocked everyone in front of them. Mjolnir stepped forward, and suddenly the hot flames formed a barrier to hold everyone down. While inside the barrier, seeing Thor struggling, Liu Ji suddenly understood that the blue light outside was absolutely terrifying, and that snowflake is also likely to be energy of unimaginable extremely low temperature and freezing. At this moment, she who was sheltered turned pale, and suddenly felt that she shouldn't have encouraged Thor to come here, because this time, she may have to pay a price that she cannot accept. And in the distance, Lauf, who is holding up the crystal ball with both hands, is extremely sad and angry at the moment. "Damn Asgard people!" This is a fart ice treasure, it's just a garbage crystal ball that glows blue and can snow! 046 Expel God Realm. Add. Lauf doesn't care that the giants of Jotunheim below are killed. What he cares about is that the ice treasure that Thor gave himself is like a joke. At this moment, he even has the idea of going on strike. However, seeing those flaming red eyes staring at him, he suddenly felt like he was about to be set ablaze, and his inner thoughts were completely burnt out. Never mind. Hurry up and send this plague god away. Maybe a few hundred years later, Jotunheim will give birth to the next ice dragon. Thor held up Mjolnir to maintain the flame barrier. His complexion turned pale, and he seemed to be struggling. However, the real situation is there is no fluctuation in his heart. Not only does he not feel any fatigue, he even wants to yawn. Until he saw the guilt and regret in Luoji's eyes, Thor felt that it was almost done. His arm trembled slightly, and Lauf immediately showed a cruel grin. Freeze. Your time will be frozen at this moment forever. As his words fell, the icy blue glow suddenly flourished, and a blizzard swept across the entire palace. As if a more terrifying low temperature descended, the flame barrier suddenly shrank, and Thor's arm began to crumble. In an instant, despair appeared in Luoji's eyes, and the emotion of regret and self-blame completely enveloped her whole heart. But at this moment, boom, she saw the dome of the palace of thousands of years of ice shattered, and a colorful torrent of hope propelled the blue freezing cold current. Odin, do you want war? Lauf roared. His eyes were full of anger. Holding the spear of eternity, the king of gods descending on an 8-legged Pegasus snorted coldly, then come, falling down with the voice of Odin. In an instant, even more turbulent and colorful energy descended again, and the ice palace was instantly shattered. While the Bifrost energy knocked Lauf into the air, it trapped Odin, Thor and others and left Jotunheim. Only Lauf was left looking at the ruins, with grief and indignation in his eyes. Chat room. Quill, laughing at me. Odin's family playhouse, and Lauf's family disappeared. Drax, and a dragon. Deadpool, this wave of Lauf lost hump. Kongsu, I very much suspect that the Asgard people are acting fake, and taking the opportunity to suppress Jotunheim is true. Surti, it's okay. I will avenge poor Lauf. Ebony Maw, didn't expect you to be so kind to a friend, Flame Giant. Surti, well, the enemy of Asgard is my friend. Ebony Maw, no, I mean it's nice of you to die with him. Surti, damn bug, just watch, I'll destroy Asgard soon. Exclamation mark. Off-screen Ebony Maw doesn't show any smug expressions. This Flame Giant has no brains, and the aggressive method seems to be useful, but it is estimated that the opponent may forget it after a while. In Bifrost. Odin angrily pulled out the long sword from Bifrost, then turned around and said, take them back for treatment. After the 3 warriors were taken away, Odin angrily said, look what you've done, Thor. Take my sister and companions to sneak attack on the Frost King, tear up the agreement, and almost die in Jotunheim as a result. I never said to be patient, to wait for the opportunity. Thor's face was slightly pale, and he didn't make any rebuttals, as if he was bearing silently. Luoji's eyes turned red when she saw this scene. She already blamed herself and regretted this action. At the moment, seeing her father reprimanding her brother, she couldn't bear it anymore. She takes a deep breath and interrupts Odin with red eyes. Father, actually, this time it's my idea. Brother, he risked his life for me. Odin is even more furious when he hears this. 3 gods trial, you were messing around, and now you almost caused your brother and companions to die. Peaceful Asgard and those innocent people will also fall into the bottomless abyss of war because of you. You are too presumptuous, Rocky Odinson. Asgard's princess status, Thor's love for you, all become your capital for getting into trouble. Luoji's face turned pale. These words pierced her heart. But it's not over yet. Odin raised his hand and grabbed it. The antler crown on her head suddenly lost its strength and shattered to the ground, and the magic cloak behind her also dimmed. The next second, Odin's voice became extremely majestic, making the final judgment. I deprive you of your power in the name of Odin, my father, and my ancestors. Loki Odinson, you have been expelled from the god realm. No, I was wrong, father. Luoji cried out in panic, but it's too late. The gun of eternity suddenly exploded with astonishing thunder. Bifrost activated again, and the energy of 7 colors engulfed Luoji and disappeared into the deep space of the universe. In Bifrost, Odin, who was just as angry as a lion, now has a trace of reluctance on his face. At this moment Thor frowned slightly and said, Father, is this a bit harsh on my sister? After all, she never left Asgard. Odin shook his head, looked deeply at the place where Luoji disappeared, and said meaningfully, she always needs to grow, and going to Midgard can at least dispel her thoughts about the trial of the 3 gods for a short time. The most important thing. This is the best chance. Thor knew what his father said, but still frowned. Will Luoji be in danger? Odin is very sure. There may be danger, but that woman can't let an Asgard princess have an accident on Earth. 047 Truth. Chatroom. Quill, I finally get it. God King Odin expels Luoji. Not only can make the opponent no longer want the trial of the 3 gods for a short time, but also can get exercise, and by the way, he can also test that Sorcerer Supreme. Is this the boss's world? Do one thing, achieve 3 effects! Exclamation mark. Gamera, it's not easy. The idiot has figured it out. Witch Agatha, from this point of view, Thor in a blue screen was expelled to the earth. I am afraid that Odin also had such a tentative mind. Ebony Moore, the so-called arrogance are just excuses. Can a god king fail to see who his son is after 1,500 years? I'm afraid he would have been banished to Earth for something else even if he hadn't gone to the giants of Jotunheim. Malkith. Moreover, it can be seen from the release of Heimdall. How dare he, the gatekeeper, let it go without Odin's order? Kongsu. So, no matter what timeline changes, Odin in the two worlds is still just as sinister. Mephisto. Interesting. Our great sorcerer supreme Ancient One is also here. Why don't you talk about Odin's behavior like this? Magician Wang. See? What are you looking at? The Ancient One magician never forbade the Asgardians from coming to Earth, but just disagreed with the Asgard troops stationed there. After all, the Earth has its own guardian. Mephisto, the majestic master of the Hell Dimension, a devil lord, can't even turn his head around this matter. I very much doubt that you are still angry because of the loss of the spirit of vengeance, so that your brain is not working well. Mephisto, Ancient One, you have the guts to speak for yourself. What's the point of letting a low-level magician speak? Odin, what? Exasperated. Mephisto, if you want, I can open a hole for you under the world tree, and you can ask Ancient One yourself. Dormammu, TSK, that's interesting. I didn't expect you, Mephisto, to even make a loss-making business. When did this happen? Which vengeful spirit was lost? Can you tell me something to satisfy my curiosity? Inside the Shard of Hell, Mephisto's face was grim, and the little ghosts and demons who didn't know what happened below all knelt down on the ground anxiously. At this moment, they could only hear the Maharaja scolding. What's this idiot Dormammu? Sooner or later he will be killed by Ancient One. What a flame necromancer is not worthy of being a Mephisto. Sooner or later he will be avenged by his niece. What else is this kind of trash? Don't even think about going further in this life. Anyway, they've never seen Mephisto break defenses like this. For a moment, they were all terrified in their hearts, fearing that they would be killed immediately after the light curtain ended. SHIELD. Nick Fury's face turned pale. What is a vengeful spirit? It sounds like something that even the devil cares about. But now it seems to be lost on the earth. This is a big trouble just by hearing it. And that sorcerer supreme Ancient One, which looks mysterious. Now it seems that the attitude towards the Asgardians has changed again, and I don't know why. In short, he has only one idea now. Carol must come back, otherwise he will not be surprised that the earth suddenly explodes one day. At this time, the light curtain of the golden thunder dimmed, and the light curtain surrounded by blue lightning lit up. Earth, SHIELD. The ear-piercing alarm suddenly sounded, and the monitoring satellite captured a high-energy value that was completely unreadable. But this process disappeared suddenly in less than a second. SHIELD is in chaos, but in a small town in Mexico, a scientific team brought back a strong man suspected of being mentally ill. At the same time, God's domain, inside the Asgard treasury. Loki walks to the casket of ancient winters alone. This treasure can only be used by the giants of Jotunheim, others will be injured by it as long as they pick it up. But Loki remembered what happened in Jotunheim, and he still suppressed the fear in his heart and slowly stretched out his palm. However, after a few seconds, the frostbite he was expecting not only did not happen, the power of ice also suppressed another power in his body, turning his skin blue and his eyes red. At this moment, Odin's voice came from behind him. Lay down. Loki silently put down the casket of ancient winters, turned around slowly, and his skin faded blue again under the pressure of Odin's blessing and returned to normal. But as if he lost his soul, he walked up to Odin step by step, and asked in a hoarse voice, "Who I am?" The complex look in Odin's eyes flashed away, but he still said without hesitation, "Definitely ... is my son." Loki trembled inwardly, but immediately questioned again. "It seems that what you took away from Jotunheim back then was not just a magic box." Odin is not hiding at this moment. He told the truth about taking away the children left behind by the king of giants of Jotunheim from the temple. As soon as these words came out, many people immediately solved their doubts. Finally understand why Loki can live so long. Because he's not only giants of Jotunheim, but royalty too. But Loki obviously can't accept this story. His eyes were red and he shouted angrily, Why do you want to take me away when your hands are clearly stained with the blood of the Jotuns? What is your purpose?" At this moment, Loki is heartbroken, looking like an abandoned child. Odin seemed to be getting older for a moment, and said slowly, "I thought that you would be the key to real peace between our two races in the future." However, after hearing this sentence, Loki became even more excited. He completely forgot the majesty of the God King, stepped forward to look into Odin's eyes, and shouted unwillingly, "So what am I? Is it a dog that can be used at any time? Or is it a monster that adults used to scare children? Now, I finally understand why you've always favored Thor for so many years. Because you will never let a child with the blood of a frost giant higher than you sit on the throne of Asgard. High Priest Heshor, a giants of Jotunheim shouldn't be king of Asgard in the first place. It's wishful thinking. Add Quill. Even so, the truth is too cruel. Who can accept the fact that he suddenly became the son of the enemy? Magician Wang, although it's a bit extreme, but I think Loki can say this because he still sees himself as an Asgard. Agatha, looking at it this way, the other Luoge is really very lucky to have such a thought to shield her from the wind and rain. Hill, maybe. That's the best timeline of all Loki endings. As soon as the words came out, all the Loki off-screen, even the most evil one, fell silent. They couldn't refute, and even couldn't help showing envy. Inside the Asgard treasure house, at this moment, Loki vented the grievance and unwillingness in his heart hoarsely. However, the next second he saw Odin fell to the ground and passed out. In an instant, all his dissatisfaction turned into panic and regret. 10 minutes later, Odin lay on a huge amount of gold bed, shrouded in a layer of divine power. He fell into a slumber. Seeing this scene, many people immediately felt pity, especially Zeus. He thought Odin was too old to be mad at Loki, but he just pretended to be death god. What an old fox. At this time, the screen returned to the earth again. I saw a man outside a temporary SHIELD base looking inside. At this moment, Thor can feel Mjolnir inside, suddenly reveal a confident smile. In his opinion, as long as he lifts it up again, he will become Thor again like he did back then. Father, I will admit him again. 048 new ability for the Cleric of Wisdom. Add. With a thunder in the sky, Thor has invaded the base of SHIELD. He also knows that the fact that he lost his divine power now is stronger than the people on Earth, so he didn't act recklessly, but changed into the clothes of the stunt agent. However, after all, this is the most powerful organization on the surface of the Earth, and it didn't even take a minute for the siren to sound through the entire base. Thor became anxious immediately, and then recklessly walked all the way in the direction of Mjolnir. Magician Wang, how dangerous. I just wanted to boast that Thor has grown up. President Loki, it's a familiar smell. Hela, you idiot. It's a disgrace to Asgard that you still haven't made progress after being deprived of your divine power. Kongsu, if you want me to say Odin, you might as well have another one, maybe there is still time. Off-screen Sif wants to refute, but looking at Thor in the picture, she was really embarrassed to speak. Although somewhat disrespectful. But at that time Thor looked, indeed, a bit stupid. Even if the body of the Eza Protoss is sealed, it is still very powerful. Thor really broke into the core of the base with just a pair of fists, and saw Mjolnir in the crater. However, at the moment, he didn't know that a cold arrow was aimed at his heart. At a high altitude, the 7th level agent Hawkeye has already drawn his bow and aimed at him, and will take away the life of the intruder with just one command. However, on the elevated road, Phil Coulson looked at Thor's confident smile from the heart, but he still didn't give the order after all. He wants to see if this intruder is really different. Add. That hammer that no one can lift may really have an owner. In the rainstorm, Thor held the familiar handle again, and the cold touch made his heart even more excited. The next second, he lifts up Mjolnir as hard as he did every time. However, Mjolnir seems to have turned back into the core of the tens of millions of tons of Death Star, not to mention lifting it up, not even a slight sway. The smile on Thor's face froze instantly. He immediately put his hands together, using all his strength. But no matter how he roars, how hard he tries, how unwilling he is, no thunder was born, and there was no echo. He was rejected by Mjolnir. Boom. At this time, there was a loud thunder in the sky, as if mocking his incompetence. Thor lost all his strength in an instant, and fell powerlessly to the ground. Nobody was surprised off-screen. No one even opened their mouths to mock. Because of this fact, only Thor himself in the picture can't see clearly. How could Immortal, banished and deprived of his divine power, lift up Mjolnir? At this time, the light curtain dimmed, and the golden thunder lit up Asgard. At the moment, 7 days have passed since Luoja was deported to Midgard. In Bifrost, Thor and Odin stand side by side. Add. Looking at the deep space of the universe, Odin said lightly. Sorcerer Supreme didn't respond. It seems that there should be no problem. Thor, have you figured out how to get to Midgard yet? Thor couldn't help twitching the corner of his mouth when he heard this, and couldn't help but think again of the thing about his father sitting alone in the garden at night 7 days ago. Well, at that time, the great king of gods said that he was admiring the projection of the world tree. But Thor knew that his father was kicked out of the bedroom by his mother. My mother prefers Luoja, and she also knew that the two of them played Luoja, so she was very supportive at the time. But what I didn't expect was that in the end Odin actually sealed all of Luoja's strength and threw it to Midgard. She won't do it. Suddenly saying Asgard is meaningless. I want to go back to the Forest of Witches and stay for 100 or 80 years. The father and son relented on the spot. However, the Queen of God didn't make unreasonable troubles. She just wanted Thor to follow her so that Luoja wouldn't be in danger. That Sorcerer Supreme Ancient One, She doesn't trust it. After more than 1,000 years, bad people may become good people, and good people may also become bad people. Odin thought for a moment, then agreed. Asgard should really check what is going on in Midgard now. And what is that Sorcerer Supreme thinking? What attitude? That's why the opening scene, he's asking Thor, has he figured out how to get to Midgard yet? In Bifrost, Thor raised Mjolnir with a smile. The reason is simple. I was also exiled to Midgard because Loki offended the King of God. As his voice fell, a body of divine power armor drifted away with a wind like quicksand, and the divine light in his eyes no longer dimmed. The whole person looks like a stronger ordinary person. Only Mjolnir, who is still easily held in his hand, shows that his essence is still extraordinary. Odin was startled for a moment, then guessed, this is the new power of the priesthood of wisdom. Thor nods. The previous scene with Loki made me realize that disguise is also a part of wisdom. I guess as long as that ancient one doesn't walk up to me and stare at me, he shouldn't be able to discover my hidden divine power. Odin didn't say anything, just patted his son's shoulder, full of relief. Although he was felt lucky many times, he still can't help but think this way at this moment. Pause, he sighed. Go, Thor. Take care of your sister. In the name of the King of God Odin, I wish you all the best. Thor nods. Goodbye, father. After speaking, he first threw Mjolnir into the Bifrost channel. After a few seconds, this man squeezed out a painful, shocked, and unbelievable expression and jumped in. Odin was taken aback. 049 Myth Invasion. Earth SHIELD. Nick Fury sat in the office with a dark face, and a special report in front of him. 7 days ago, a high-energy ray from the universe broke through the atmosphere and landed on a desert in North America. This is nothing at all, but there is a very clear symbol left on the ground at the scene. So, this incident changed from a cosmic spectacle to an extraterrestrial event. And what makes Nick Fury face black now? 1 week has passed, and the report submitted below has only one line of information. This thing seems to have a certain connection with Norse mythology. And then nothing else. Mommy Falk. Now the alien invasion is not enough. Let's start the mythical invasion, right? If it was 30 years ago, he would have kicked the ass of the person who wrote this report. But now, since what happened in 1995, whether it is true or not, he will only find it more troublesome. Just as Nick Fury was thinking about finding a Norse mythology consultant for SHIELD, a piercing bell rang from his pocket. He clicked on the call, and there was a mature-sounding voice. Director, just now there is a new energy shock coming to northern Mexico. Is it still that symbol? Nick Fury asked immediately. There was no pause on the phone, and he responded, not exactly the same, but it can be seen that there is a connection between them, maybe a change, but this time, we also discovered something else. What? Nick Fury's eyes light up slightly. Something means there is a clue. A strange tone came from the phone. It's a hammer. Nick Fury frowned, thinking that he should find an easy task for Phil Coulson, and found a hammer, which is worth reporting. Did you stay up too late lately, and your hair fell out, so you deliberately scolded yourself? But at this moment, the phone said again, Director, that is a hammer that no one can pick up right now. Protect the scene, I'll go right away. Nick Fury puts on his blindfold and hurried out. Chatroom. Natasha Romanoff, hee. It seems that the Phil Coulsons of the two worlds have the same fate, and their foreheads can't be covered. Off-screen. Natasha Romanoff was taken aback as soon as she finished speaking. Then the smile on his lips disappeared, and his eyes quickly dimmed. After looking at the light curtain for so long, she even forgot that the good old man was actually dead. Or say, in fact, it was because she couldn't accept the other party's death for a while. Inside SHIELD, a look of regret flashed across Nick Fury's eyes. Could I have avoided all of this if I had moved Phil Coulson to an easier position? Northern Mexico. Nick Fury gets out of the car shortly after passing a small town billboard that reads Mystery Tour. The reason why I didn't take the Quinjet fighter jet was because there was already a strong thunderstorm in the sky above the location, and the probability of the plane crashing was too high. Walking into the crude temporary base, Nick Fury soon saw the hammer in a crater. The hole is silver gray, and the grip is wrapped with black wires of unknown material. 1 second flame mark, one side thunder symbol. On the other side, there are more than a dozen incomprehensible words engraved on it. Have the linguists in the bureau translated what it is? Nick Fury asked. Phil Coulson shakes his head. Not at all, and according to the comparison of the supercomputer in the bureau, these words do not match any known words on Earth, he said with a sigh. Director, I'm afraid we're in big trouble. At this moment Nick Fury let go of his hand trying to raise the hammer, then sighed. Immediately make a recruitment report and find me a scholar who is proficient in Norse mythology. This hammer must be related to the mark in that mythical record. Phil Coulson nodded and went to prepare immediately. At the same time, during the rainstorm, a wet blonde man just walked into the town. Thor is not surprised by Midgard's current development. Decades ago, he came to capture Loki once. At that time, through Heimdall's positioning, He directly captured Liu Jie, who was having fun as a bank robber, and turned her into the frog she hated the most for 3 months. He still remembered that Liu Jie didn't talk to him for a whole month. Thinking of his sister, he sighs. According to Heimdall, Rocky at the moment is in a city called New York, where there are tens of millions of humans, and in order to prevent Liu Jie from finding out, Bifrost must not descend there. Now it seems that he has to find a way to find the other party. Definitely. He didn't forget the most important task in Midgard at the moment. That is to find out what is going on with Kamartaj now. And that mysterious sorcerer supreme, Ancient One, as from Mjolnir. Thor didn't think about taking it. After all, he is now an Asgard refugee deprived of divine power. How could he lift Mjolnir? And putting the hammer over there is almost the same as hanging it on his waist. When he needs Mjolnir, the distance on the surface of a planet is almost nothing, and the call cannot be blocked at all. And without his instruction, no one can lift the hammer of flame and thunder. 050 Tyranny, God's punishment. Add Mize Town. As a tourist town in the state of Mexico, although it is not big, it has a wide range of shops. Thor soon finds a pawn shop. The doorbell rang, and a bald man in his 40s looked up at the counter, showing a habitual smile. But it didn't last long. A man with wet body and long hair doesn't look like a person who comes shopping or has good goods in his pocket. However, following his professional habits, the bald head still opened his mouth and said, "Hi, do you want to buy something or sell something?" Thor fumbles in his pocket, then pulls out a gold button and places it on the glass counter. "How much is it worth?" He borrowed this clothes from a car parked on the side of the road, otherwise it would be too eye-catching. The original gold buttons were decorations on the original Asgard clothes. Off-screen Jane Foster has an indescribable feeling. She still remembers that when Thor came to the Earth, he didn't distinguish between north, south, east, and north. He was manic and mentally ill, and he would throw a glass when he drank. As a result, this Thor changed his clothes as soon as he arrived on Earth, and he even knew how to change money. In contrast, one is a mature man and the other is like a child who needs to be cared for. What made her even more inexplicably disappointed was that this Thor took the clothes in the car, but did not meet another self. Inside the pawn shop, the bald head flashed and the eyes lit up. He used his 20-year career guarantee. This is definitely a good product. However, he didn't show a surprised expression, but pretended to be suspicious. "It looks like pure gold, but our store generally doesn't accept things from unknown sources. Do you have the invoice for the purchase?" He can tell at a glance that this thing belongs to the antique category, and there is a high probability that there is no invoice. And even if there is, a strange face is probably here to travel. How could he bring it with him? At this time, I am absolutely in a hurry to spend money. It is unreasonable not to lower the price. I am sorry for my profession. Thor shows a half-smile expression. "No, but the low price is fine." The bald head suddenly feels relieved, and picks up the gold button again for a closer look. After a few minutes, he put it down, then sighed and said, "To tell you the truth, we also have this kind of sales outlet from unknown sources, but the price is also severely suppressed so, I can only give you $500. Believe me, this is a very reasonable price. After all, our store also needs to take risks." The gold button of the file size of a dollar coin is more than this price. He feels that today is really his lucky day. Thor nods. "Can." The bald head was suddenly ecstatic, fearing that the bully in front of him would change his mind. He quickly took away the gold button, then counted out 500 knives and handed it over. Chat room. Quill, it hurts me to be willing to be cheated. Electrocute killing adventure. Why is this earth as black as nothingness? The last time I robbed something that was fully discounted by 3 levels. Quill, that's because you look stupid. Electrocute adventures. You mean Thor is stupid, too? Sif, Humphrey. Prince Thor definitely because he doesn't want to draw too much attention. Thor happily took the money and left. In the pawn shop, the bald man excitedly rubbed the gold button when he saw the person leaving, and looked at it for more than 10 minutes before putting it in the safe. He swears that this thing can definitely sell for tens of thousands of dollars. If you encounter collectors, maybe it can be even higher. I really made a lot of money today. At the same time, Thor, who was sitting in the restaurant across the street, glanced at the sky outside the window, and said naturally to himself, "In this weather, thunderstorms are really scary." The waitress who just brought Coke and hamburger to the side smiled and echoed, "You're right, handsome guy. This kind of weather is not suitable for walking outside. Maybe you will be struck by lightning. Do you want to take my car to go?" However, before she could finish the words "go to my house," she was horrified to see a burst of lightning hit the pawn shop opposite. Boom. The sound of explosions, electric sparks splashing, the air seems to be shaking, and the glass of the window is shaking. The waitress collapses suddenly, and then lays on their seat. Failed to fall into the warm embrace, the woman suddenly raised her head, and looked at the man who sat in the booth with resentful eyes. "Can I die if I let my mother take advantage of it? HMPH, he must be gay!" But because the man in front of her is so handsome, she immediately cast her anger elsewhere. The waitress stood up again, looked at the pawn shop opposite, which seemed to have suffered heavy losses, and the frightened and embarrassed bald man who was crawling out, and sneered, "God, open your eyes, Callison, a black-hearted vampire, really deserves it." He was finally struck by lightning. The bald fat pig on the opposite side is not only very unscrupulous in pawning things, he even only gives half the tip for eating hamburgers. "Today is really a happy day, Quill. I didn't say what I said before. This big guy took revenge on the spot." Hela, still too kind, too cowardly. "The power of the gods should not be offended. The man should be killed directly." Gamera. "But it won't attract the attention of Ancient One. Isn't it in line with the plan?" Tony. "Don't forget that Thor is the god of wisdom. I even think he did it on purpose." At this time Thor looked out of the window, took the woman's words and said with a smile, "You are indeed very wise." "This is a tip." Speaking Thor, under the surprised eyes of the waiter. He put down the $20 and left. On the street, Thor paces slowly, as if waiting for something. The lightning just now was actually summoned by Mjolnir. This place is only 5 kilometers away from where the hammer fell. At the moment, the dark clouds and thunderstorms in the sky are all caused by Mjolnir. Within the range of the thunderstorm, Mjolnir will send divine punishment with just one thought, and he doesn't need to use any divine power at all. Definitely. The most important thing is his temptation. If Ancient One is really looking at him, maybe the other party should make a move at this moment. But if Kamartaj does come, it is impossible to single out his problems. Immortal deceives the gods, Mjolnir summons the thunder himself, and it doesn't matter to him. This way, it will not rise to the issue of diplomatic. "And if you didn't come, does that mean you can be bolder?" As soon as Thor's heartfelt voice came out, countless people showed expressions of embarrassment and admiration. Before, they thought that Thor brutally struck a human with lightning for the sake of saving face. But now it seems the god of wisdom really never does useless things. If you like this audiobook, subscribe the channel for more videos like this and join my Patreon if you want to support me. Leave some comment and let me know if you guys like this story, or you have a web novel you like and want to hear its audiobook. I will be happy to create them for you. Please like, share, and leave a comment on the video.